8 to 11 a.m. Eastern. However, because we're in Vegas, that's 3 hours earlier, so we're doing 5 to 8 a.m.
Which actually
Pacific
was the
time.
old time in Central Time in Texas, in
Right.
beautiful downtown
But
Haltom
at Pacific
City.
time, that would have been 3 to 6. So
Right,
that's
yes. Yeah,
really
that threw us
confusing.
off an hour back. And, right.
But, so we're doing that. Then we get off the air for 4 hours while Matlock comes in and does his little blah-bitty-blah.
Yes, he does.
And then during that time, we are all over SHOT Show.
Hookers and Blow. I mean SHOT Show.
That's later. No, we're at the SHOT Show in Vegas Sands Expo Center. So what we do is go booth to booth and meet people, and we go, hey, you want to buy some commercials? I mean, hey, nice to meet
how are
you.
It's good to see you. What are you doing here?
I'm so interested and want to meet you. No, this is about you. Tell me what you do. Want to buy commercials? So we do that and tell people about the platform. And it's so big. It is huge.
And the show is large,
Show is
too.
large, very
Yes,
large.
very big.
So we walk and walk and walk and walk. And then, oh, my gosh, it's been 4 hours. Let's go back on the air and do 2 additional bonus hours just from the SHOT Show.
That we do not charge you, the listener, for.
We should. It should be
really
very
should.
expensive,
It's
but we don't.
so
It's
good.
free. It's
Yeah.
bonus material.
It is, yeah.
And it's all about the SHOT Show. So if you haven't caught our SHOT Show exclusive 2 hours the last couple of days, you
you're
are missing a gem.
Yes.
Because a lot of cool people and products. Now, we've done some shorter form stuff, little videos of cool products.
we have.
And services the last couple of days, which is pretty cool. So then we do 2 additional hours. So right there, you're at, I was told there'd be no math.
17
3
hours
and
a
4
day.
and 2.
We're
3 and 4 and 2.
That's at least
So
17.
that's 5 and 4. That's
Right.
9. Plus an hour to a prep in the morning.
Right.
That's already 11. And then when we're done,
Right.
we're
Hookers and
back
Blow.
out on the floor,
damn it.
walking the floor again, begging
Right.
people to advertise, and
Right.
asking them, hey, tell us about you.
Right. It's all about you.
A couple more hours there, and then when that's done, we're done for the day. Except then,
Hookers and Blow.
then we go and get a little something to eat,
That's
and start
true. You have to
prepping the
eat,
next
yes.
day's show. And that prep includes
Hookers and Blow.
hooker. Thank you. I was like, you're
knew
gonna be hanging
I've
there.
been trying to get there forever.
So
we're up to basically we're working 27 hours a day out here.
wow.
We're doing it all for you. We would not just do this for us. Because we would never tell. Even if we were just doing it for us, we'd still tell you we're doing it for you.
So one of our partners that works here works with us. His name is Tom.
Yes.
Tom, good guy.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
As far as his
except
wife
for that
goes.
one thing he does.
We're not going to explain
No.
what happens in Vegas, but
No.
so I see Tom. He's spry, energetic,
Right.
bopping around, running, walking, doing all of this stuff. Hey guys, just got in from a ride, a run, whatever. And anytime we're on the road that requires work, my foot.
Right.
I had to walk across the street, guys. My foot. Can't my foot. I'm like, wow, that looks pretty bad. Yeah, my foot. So your left foot's bothering. Yeah, it's just bothering me. Because yesterday it was your right foot. Your long time injury, it's been bothering your right foot, wasn't it?
He needs to put a Post-it note on the foot he's
He tried to
dealing with.
Costanza with me on that, where he's like, no, that's because I was standing on the other side. And I was like, what? Yeah, my foot. Can't walk. And I was like, okay, Now,
Poor Tom.
I say to him, I go, you tried the relief factor? Hit your foot? Oh, I don't know if it's going to help. I don't know.
See? That's the...
No. Tom uses the relief factor.
So it's really not even bothering him.
It's not bothering him. He's lying to us.
So
Because I saw him the other day.
dirty, good for nothing.
Yeah, yesterday, right? Remember he hobbled away after dinner?
Oh, yeah.
My foot's bothering, whatever. It was all Kaiser Sose in us.
That son of a...
Yeah,
I'm telling
he's
you.
all like, my foot bothering me. He got around the sign heading into the casino. Oh, a little spring in his step. He just doesn't want to walk around and carry, what is that? Is that a fire?
You hear that?
Oh, that's the packet of
That's
the relief
my
factor.
packet of Relief Factor. This is my nooner. This right here is my nooner.
Did you do your
I did my morninger already.
Your 8:39 a.m. Eastern timer?
I did. As soon as I get up, I had one. I do one at noon and another one in the afternoon now. So I'm on 3 right now, just for when I know I'm going to be, walking on concrete, doing something that requires that foot to go through a little extra something.
So if you have long-term pain
Yes.
that you've suffered with over the years, and there's not a whole
Yep.
lot of other relief that you've gotten, you
Yep.
get relief from relieffactor.com. But here's the thing. If you want to be required because you are physically able to help people walk and
Right.
carry things and trade show stuff like that, do not take the relief factor.
Yeah, it screws up
It
every
will-
excuse you've ever had.
Right. It will likely make you're like, oh, my back doesn't hurt anymore. So
Yes.
you're either going to have to lie to people then
Yeah.
and
Well,
act.
Tom is in sales.
Well, right. So he's
So,
good at
yeah,
that.
He's good at lying.
But then you have to act. And a lot of people are not good at acting.
See, when Tom acts, it's so understated. He's almost a method actor in that sense. He's just so low key.
True, but most people are not good actors.
No, I know, and that's the thing.
You
Tom
think you
gets
are
away with it most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. So, just be prepared. If you're not a good actor, then you shouldn't take Relief Factor.
No, because it will.
You'll be fine.
Ruin. Yeah,
you will absolutely be fine, and it'll be so subtle. You're like, wow, I feel. Oh my gosh, they want me to carry this stuff. So,
you just have to groan a lot.
Sciatic. Sorry. Yeah. Gout's acting up,
just
guys.
never get up. If you stay in your chair, it's easier to play it off as pain that you can't possibly live with. Just stay seated. Don't get up. And
you do benefit from having said it so many times in the past. Where like, you want to avoid the direct question. For example, you sit there and you just have that pained look on your face. Yeah. And they go, "Oh,
you're not feeling well.
Is your back bothering you?"
And you go,
"Is it your back?" You see, you can't even nod. You're nodding too much. You can't because you don't want to lie.
No, if you just it's your back.
And they it's his back. Right. See, that's it right there. Because that's almost a
right. It's non-committal.
But it's not a. It's just you're in pain.
I never said I didn't. That's plausible deniability. I never said
it is.
But
I just winced. Wincing does not make a lie.
Yes.
A lie does not wincing make.
No, it doesn't. I believe that was Benjamin Franklin who said that originally.
It was John Paul Sargent.
Of course it was. That's what I said at first. Look, go to relieffactor.com. Think about that for a second. Relieffactor.com, $20. Same as downtown.
Relieffactor.com. Hey, I think we should get to some communiques and listen.
Nah, they're all boring as hell.
We know there's trouble with the live stream.
Did you know there's trouble with a live stream?
Yes, I know.
It happens as a man gets older, I've discovered. That there's just something, and there's got to be some medication for that as well. I feel certain that we can probably get that issue fixed for you with your live stream.
Our live stream prostate, our tech prostate is having some issues.
It is. It just happens, and I don't think it's fair that people actually comment on that. It's rude, quite frankly. It's not. It's just not funny. So.
Our prostatinator is we're having trouble with that on the computer system this morning.
It's enlarged, and I think we just leave it at that. Wanger slanging saddle tramp says you're wrong. The cartel Matt doesn't do blah 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 blah. He blah blah the blah 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 look blah blah and blah. I don't know.
I started the show in my basement. Started in my basement.
Right here in my.
Did you know that?
I took a tip or two from Chad Prather. There he was.
Matt loves him some Chad Prather.
He does.
Chad Prather.
I think Matt may have given Chad a promise ring. I think he may have given him a promise ring last night. I saw the two of them. They were talking. It was hushed tones. They were very quiet, but they were off in a corner, and he handed him something. And I think it may have been a promise ring, which I think that's great.
Have you ever seen the old Warner Brothers cartoon with Spike and the little dog Chester that follows him around? Hey, Spike. Hey, Spike.
Hey, shut up.
Spike. Spike, you want to play ball, Spike? Spike, I know where there's a ball. Nah. Of course, Spike. Why would I say that? You don't want to play ball. You want to beat up a cat? Spike, I know where there's a cat. You want to...
Hey, shut up.
Whatever. That's kind of Matlock with Chad Prather. Chad's a good guy, but I feel like Matt may be stalking him.
It's not stalking if you really, 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 really want to meet him. I don't know why you can't get that through your head. Whatchamacallit says psychedelic music needs to stop, please. We're playing psychedelic music? I'll give you anything. Passwords, bank account, my firstborn. Just make it stop. Oh, God, dead again. Apparently, we're playing psychedelic music somewhere.
Sorry.
What's wrong with psychedelic music? Define psychedelic. Look.
Psychedelic. Maggot brain.
Maggot.
Funkadelic. That's psychedelic music.
Funkadelic is... What's
Funkadelic by Maggot Brain.
I don't think I've heard that one.
Really?
No, I've never heard that.
Oh,
I don't think.
All the people from Cleveland know what it is.
Pink Floyd, would that be psychedelic?
No.
What's that? That's acid rock. No, it's acid rock.
It's not acid rock.
That's acid rock.
It's classic rock.
That is not. It's acid rock.
It's not acid rock.
Pink Floyd is acid rock.
It's not acid.
It's
what makes it acid rock?
It's music
Define
you
acid
listen.
rock.
Music you listen to while you're on acid, or that was written while on acid.
You can listen to anything while you're on acid. You can listen to Karen Carpenter on acid.
Karen Carpenter is acid rock.
Of course, it goes like this. I'm on the top of the world. Listening to creation while the walls are melting.
And she may or may not appear in front of you. Microaggressing jackhole. You can lead a jackhole to MoJo 50, but you can't make him listen. Oh, yes, you can. We have the clamps to do it.
You can't say clamp now without yesterday's. We're live at SHOT Show at the Sands Expo
or
Center.
maybe we aren't. I don't know yet.
On some platforms, some other platforms like the live stream.
We might be talking to each other right now.
We're live from yesterday's show.
You know, my toenails need clipping.
So,
just thought I'd share that.
It's a puppet show.
I'm not a puppet.
So,
don't tell me what to do.
Okay. Where was I going with that? Oh,
I have no idea.
If you did not see, did you put out the video of the deer yesterday?
No, not yet. I did. I think you can Google tender buck. The part of
when you showed the video last night, was that on Google?
That's on
YouTube.
YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Can you YouTube that out?
Yes, I can do that. It's so weird.
So here's what happened.
It is so weird.
Brad and I were going booth to booth yesterday, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Did you say boot to boot or booth to booth?
Booth to booth. Booth to booth.
Okay.
So as we're going booth to booth, and there's a lot. I mean, a lot of good stuff here. Most stuff we're not going to show you because a lot of it is maybe stuff you've seen before. It's just from a different company with some new specs on something. All very cool, but not necessarily brand new or exciting for video. And there's a lot of companies that can manufacture something or import something that you've already seen or familiar with. So it's a lot of connecting like that. But there are some really cool, interesting things that are you don't know what they are. It's good spectacles.
It's on the MoJo MeWe chat page.
Now. Okay, so we're going, as you go booth to booth, you're like, oh, okay, glove importer, that's cool. What's the price on it, whatever. And then all of a sudden, we go up to some booths where you're like, what is that? And then as they tell you, like, wow, that's really cool. So yesterday, we see a booth we go up to, and it's just a guy, very mild-mannered, almost nerdy guy, very nice.
And very quiet.
Very quiet, but very informed, like this. And he's holding what looks like a car battery with electrodes coming out. And that's pretty much it.
Which piques a certain curiosity in some people. Like
right. Me. And we're like, okay, this guy has people in his basement tied up.
Where do you clamp those things?
And we're like, what's going on? And the name of it was
Tenderbuck.
Which you're like, oh, who's that buck? He's a young tender thing. And he starts showing a video. It's a way to help field dress or deal with deer that you have recently shot. If you're a hunter, makes sense because the SHOT Show isn't just about guns.
No, it's shooting, hunting, and outdoor attack.
So this would help hunters or outdoorsmen, right? So the concept is this: it's essentially a battery that causes electric charges to surge. So you hook up one electrode or two electrodes to the deer, for example, after you've shot it. And when the electric shock goes through, it pulsates every couple seconds, it causes the deer to bleed out faster.
The muscles
contract, right. So it bleeds out much faster, help you field dress it. And in the long run, helps you tenderize the meat by delaying rigor mortis.
And it gets all those hormones out that make the meat taste bad.
So it's a great idea. I mean,
it's a fabulous
amazing.
idea.
Here's the problem. The spectacle is... I don't have a queasy stomach, but it's still like, oh, this is so wrong.
It is stepping into the sausage factory.
So I walk up, and the guy goes, I go, how's it work? And he goes, here's a video, sir. And he turns his computer, and he shows me. And he goes, now, this buck was recently shot just minutes before this video was filmed. And he goes, so what you do is you take the clamps and you clamp it on each end of the deer. And they put the first clamp on the deer's eyeball.
Yes, they do. Well, where else are you going to put it?
Well, the other one on his ass. But on his eyeball, and I was like, he just clamped that to the deer's eyeball.
Yes, he did.
And, and then all of a sudden, the spectacle of the deer stiffening up. His little stick goes through. The shock is... shocking and hilarious all at once. I'm like, oh, this is funny. It's not funny. Should I find this funny? Oh, he's doing it again.
And you told me to post it, and I will post just about
I said, Brad, we
anything.
should film this. Brad goes, I don't think we should film this.
It's just one
it's
of
not wrong.
No, it's not. It's
edgy.
It is. It's like the only thing you can compare this to is the little exercise electrodes that you put on that make your
muscles contract. Yeah.
This is like that on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hooked it up to yourself, you would and that's what the deer does. And wow. And
are people watching it?
They're watching it over on MeWe.
Yeah. What's the reaction?
Damn it! I guess it's
take this and show a loved one.
Yeah. You might want to give them a little heads up, or don't. This would be a good video to play and then watch someone's reaction to it.
So, anyways, just one of the real fun things. And again, every afternoon, so for 3 to 5 Eastern time, we'll just do interview after interview and introduce you to product after product. And then make sure to follow us all across social media because we'll put out those little, 30-second or so videos of really cool and interesting stuff. Please share those as well. That'll help the SHOT Show folks, and they'll be real happy about that. But really good people here at SHOT Show and a lot of amazing things.
And that one,
it is gargantuan.
That one guy who's just,
I know.
Other than that, everybody else except for him. And again, the most respectful crowd of people I've ever seen in one place in my life.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if this is SHOT Show standard or not.
What?
But I saw one of the best things I've ever seen in my life yesterday.
Okay, what was it?
A midget in a bow tie on a scooter. He was wheeling through SHOT Show.
And he looked like Pitbull.
Folks, I can't yell this in here because I don't know if that'll offend anybody. And you know me, I don't want to offend anybody.
You wouldn't want to offend anybody.
It was a midget in a bow tie riding a little scooter. One of the ones that's like a skateboard with handlebars?
Yes.
And he's pedaling.
And
as we walk through, a lot of times you see something interesting or shocking or whatever, and you just go, okay, I can't stare. I'm going to stare, but I'm going to act like I'm looking at the sign and just keep moving or whatever. I couldn't pull it off. I went like this. Oh, my gosh, that's great. And Brad goes, stop, keep walking. I go, did you see? Oh, my gosh, he's so cute. And I came back to the booth, and I was like, the only way to make that better is if he had a monkey with him. And why wouldn't you, Brad? If you were a midget, if you can't fix it, feature it. Now, I don't know. Maybe people like being midgets. I don't know. But I think most people would probably be like, hey, if I could not be a midget, that'd be cool, right? Not that they're bad people, anything like that.
No.
In fact, I think they're amazing.
Peter Dinklage is an incredible actor.
I want to be around as many midgets as possible.
I think
because they bring me so much joy.
The term is little person, or is it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's sizing.
I don't know what it is anymore.
What constitutes little? I feel like you're getting lost in the verbiage here.
That could be.
Tiny people.
Tiny. Lily pushing.
Anyway.
Yes.
I want to be around as many people as possible. And if you can't fix it,
right?
What do?
You have to feature it.
You just run with it.
Yes.
You make it your thing.
Yes.
Right. Why wouldn't you carry a monkey?
Or a juggling bear.
If you were always in the company of a juggling bear as a midget?
Remember the bear on YouTube that walked upright?
I think there's a lot of people in the world that want to bring other people joy.
I would think so.
Wouldn't that bring you joy today?
It would. You would
imagine. Where are you
You'd
today?
Smile.
You're driving in Western Pennsylvania. Right. You're around Pittsburgh area, and you're just like, damn, snow and cold. And quite frankly, I live in Pittsburgh.
Right. Yep.
And you're like, stop at Pittsburgh because I mock everybody.
Yeah.
You're driving around. You're like, look at this. It's dark, and what is going on? I hate my life or whatever. What is that on the side of the road? It's a midget with a monkey. He's in a bow tie riding a scooter, and behind him,
it's a juggling bear.
Wouldn't your life?
Yes, I mean you would.
Your
you
day
instant
take an
smile.
amazing
instant
step forward.
You'd be talking to everybody that you ran into from that moment forward. Guess what I saw this morning?
Right. It would
open conversations. It would spread love.
I'm going to say this. If you saw that and you walked into work, you would not go like 4 hours later at lunch, John, I saw something really weird. You wouldn't say that.
No.
You would sprint into the office and go, oh, my gosh, just write this on. And here's the video.
I got a blurry picture on my cell phone.
You'd go, oh, my God, did you see my Instagram account? Did you see my TikTok?
It's just, yeah.
Juggling bear.
Look at my
midget
YouTube
monkey.
channel. It's right there. There's like 30 seconds.
There it is.
He's look at the bear. You did see the bear in the background? He's juggling.
There it is.
The bear is juggling.
Hey, this is what I'm saying. So don't think I'm mocking him.
Don't forget, he looked like Pitbull.
I am putting their significance and status in the world
Yes.
very high.
Yes.
They do not know how much joy they bring us.
Oh, they do. Of course they do.
It's like being in a movie. It's like stepping into some fantasy world. Little person.
Yes, and that's we're all carrying something. We've all, I'm a middle-aged, balding.
Now let me show you.
Fat.
Let me show you how much I love the little people. Okay. That if you saw a giant today, I mean 7'4", walking in here, you would find it interesting.
Yes.
You may take pictures.
Yes.
You may tell people.
Yes.
Guys, look at how tall this guy is.
Yes.
Wow.
Right.
But you're not going to have that same little.
No.
Oh my God!
The spectacle.
Right?
The spectacle. And we did actually see a giant yesterday.
I didn't reference him at all.
I didn't either, but after Ron showed me the picture that he took surreptitiously.
Interesting.
And in secret.
I met the tallest man in the world once.
You did?
Years ago, some event in Vegas, I guess. I don't know where I was.
Was he here because he was the tallest man?
I was doing a remote at, I think, at a Church's Fried Chicken.
Chicken too
and
tasty.
They brought out the tallest man in the world, and he was doing kind of a circus type, sideshow. Hey, come out and meet the tallest man in the world. He was a Guinness Book World Record guy. He was from Paraguay or something.
And he was here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
And again, I'd forgotten all about that because it doesn't have the same little zing to it. But dang it, on the side of the road, or imagine you own a coffee shop. You roll in, right? Mm-hmm. You're like, I just got to have some caffeine today.
Right.
And you look over, and what do they have there? Dun, 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 dun. A midget. How about on a unicycle with a monkey?
And that, honestly, that takes talent to ride the unicycle.
So there it is. That's how much I love the little people. Now, yes, there's a bit of a failure if you're going to the coffee shop because you're having other coffee other than American Pride Roasters. Here's what needs to happen. Mm-hmm. Either Starbucks needs to go to American Pride Roasters and start, using their coffee.
Right.
Or some other, what is that, Gloria Jean coffee? Is that one of them?
Gloria Jean?
That's one of them. Their coffee's terrible. I'd rather go to Starbucks, and I don't love Starbucks.
I've never heard of Gloria Jean.
It is a chain. It's horrible.
Okay.
And then there's, what is the Beanery? Is that one?
Uh-huh. Which, by the way,
I'm not
racist. Come on, seriously. The Beanery.
Juan Valdez, right?
You cannot do that.
And then, what's there's another, Arabica.
And Seattle's best coffee.
Right. Ironically, it's not. You know what Seattle's best coffee is? American Pride Roasters.
Yes, it is.
The official coffee of your Daily Mojo and the and the MoJo50.com.
And the Conservative Cartel as well. See?
All right.
That's all it takes. By the way, John Klatt, I think, summed it up well. He says, all these tech issues remind me of the good old days with you and Skip before you moved the studio to Texas.
Yeah.
So you see, you're bringing back some retro thoughts.
That's all it is, We'll work on it. It'll be up soon. It'll be up. No worries.
It's almost Friday.
All right, get your communiques in. Doc Thompson, Brad Staggs, Live Shot Show, Vegas.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50.
The mothership has landed.
Please tell us what you've learned today, because I got nothing. I haven't learned a damn thing. So please tell us what you've learned all across social media with the hashtag What I Learned Today. Certainly on Twitter. We'll get to those at the end of the broadcast, if deemed worthy by Brad Staggs today.
Oh, it's on me today, is it?
It's always
fine. By the way, Spreaker is working fine. If you're listening on Spreaker, you're hearing us just fine. However, if you're listening on iHeart, you're not.
Is there a live stream with Spreaker?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a live stream.
I didn't know that.
There is a live. It's a live stream that turns into a podcast. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So Spreaker
How does
it up.
it do that?
It's magic.
It turns into a podcast?
You've got to get unicorn horn dust. That's the beginning of
I
it.
thought those were illegal. Oh,
Well,
wait, it's Vegas.
It's Vegas.
Anything
So
is possible.
That's actually why we're here to acquire a lot for the next year.
And by the way, next year, live from Pahrump.
Live from Pahrump.
Live from Pahrump. MCM, DXM, DM. So many letters. Hopefully you guys stocked up on Depends for Ron, because those tech issues are going to kill his poop breaks. You know? It's
You're
not offensive if it's
Beat
true.
the guy when he's down.
I didn't. This is the response from the loyal and dedicated Jackhole Nation.
They have no idea how much it bothers him. They have no
It
idea.
doesn't bother me at all. I just feel bad.
No, not the poop references.
Oh, no.
No,
See,
the tech stuff.
the tech stuff
it's
bothers
just-
the crap
it
out of me.
eats you alive.
Which means I have to go poop.
I know, but the tech
Of course,
stuff,
it always strikes right at the wrong
of
time.
course,
so.
right at the right the tech stuff. The smallest thing, you're like, damn it.
Jackhole Angry Beaver talking about attaching something to a deer's eye while eating my egg whites. I will never look at egg whites the same again. You know what?
You got to get beyond it.
I don't feel remotely bad, because anyone knows you don't listen while you're eating eggs.
You know, while you're eating
That is
anything.
nasty.
Who is that, Jackal Angry Beaver?
That's Angry Beaver. She should know better.
Brad is going to, in a couple of moments, post a link.
Oh,
If you're eating egg whites that you need to see.
I did. It's already up
Is
in
it already
the
out there?
MeWe chat. Do I put it on Facebook?
Did you? When you? No.
Which link?
The egg maker.
Oh, yes. How an egg is made.
Right. Think about this, folks.
Oh, yeah.
If I were to say to you,
Yes.
how's an egg made? You go, it comes from a chicken, and you have the general idea. But think about this: an egg is huge. An egg from a chicken is huge compared to an egg of a human.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Or other things.
Yeah, and they do it every day.
And what is it? Sturgeon, which are gargantuan. It's like little specks there. How's a chicken egg so big? And then you're going, how do they get it in the shell?
Right.
Right, just the logistics of it.
That is magic right
So
there.
Brad and I, sitting around, questioning such things one afternoon, Brad goes, let's look it up.
Exactly.
Don't look it up.
No, you really shouldn't look this up.
If you like eggs, they do a cross-cut diagram of the inside of a chicken.
Yeah, they do. And it's
The chicken maker itself, very disturbing.
it really is. It's it's just different.
Yeah,
That's
so
all I can really say about it. It's just different.
I suggest rather than Googling it, you Google blue waffle. You're going to get off much easier.
Don't do that either.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
All right, Jackholes, the first part of your headlines from SHOT Show in Las Vegas. The black plague of toxic masculinity is made possible by The Rich Solution. Life is too short. Feel better inside and out at therichsolution.com. Or die. Topping the headlines this morning, Venezuela has risen to end President Maduro's dictatorship. 7 people have been killed as protesters take to the streets, and opposition leaders have declared he is now in charge of the country with Trump's backing.
This is really interesting, right?
Things are not going well in Venezuela.
So who is the challenger? Maduro is the was the
incumbent,
but we recognize the
Juan Guaido. Juan Guaido. Juan Guaido.
Okay.
That's how you
Good
say
guy.
it. Juan Guaido.
I didn't say he didn't. Good guy.
He declared himself the interim president before he
and
slipped away into hiding.
And took the oath of office.
Yeah, and now
Swore.
he's in hiding. It's dudes, I'm in. I'm the president. I'm gonna go hide. It's hard to rule from a hidden location.
Yeah.
Just saying. The top military has so far remained silent, but they're expected to remain loyal to Maduro, who has vowed to fight on.
Listen, most of those guys are not ideological. They're soldiers. They may have certain views, but really they're loyal to the one who is going to be there.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Because if you're not, if you're loyal to the next guy and he doesn't make it, that means the guy who's still there is going to kill you.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
And if you're loyal to the old guy, the trick is it's like investing.
Yes.
You got to know when to go up, get off of it, go with the other one.
You've got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Thank you.
Know when to walk away and know when to
run.
Look,
thank you.
You never count your money when you're sitting at the table.
I think you took it too far.
Did I? I don't think so. By the way, just got 2 thumbs up from Ron, which
what does that mean?
You're either being bitten by 2 pit bulls or things are going well.
Yes, we're back up live on iHeart.
Nice. Okay, we are back. We're back on iHeart, so
you can start streaming again now.
Yes.
If you're not listening to us on iHeart because we had trouble, you can listen now.
Please do, yes. And by the way, U.S. diplomats in Venezuela have been given 72 hours to get out. I'd be getting out of there if I was them. What are they? You know what? Okay, we've got diplomats down there, right?
Right.
What the hell are they eating?
What do you mean?
There's nothing to eat in Venezuela. They're down to eating the squirrels. They've eaten the dogs.
No, they bring their own food.
From where? They
From
have
the U.S.
They have it flown in?
Yeah, you bring big pouches.
Were they dropping them over the capital, or are they flying them in and driving them under a guard to wherever they are?
They have the diplomatic pouches and diplomatic couriers.
Well, they stick them in a briefcase so they know it's food? Because
No.
I'm thinking if it's food and the people know there's food in a box, they're going to be attacking the convoy.
What are you
going to
go home and eat? If you were at home, what would you be eating today?
If I was at home?
Yeah.
Probably an egg burrito.
From where?
Those records are sealed.
I mean, do you get a maid?
No, actually, QT makes a great egg burrito.
If QT wasn't open, it's weird.
Right.
What are you going to eat at home? What would you make?
I'd look in the cabinet and see
Okay,
what's
what'd
there.
you get? Give me an example.
Can of corn.
Okay.
Right.
So you get a can of corn.
Right.
Maybe you make a little pasta with ragu.
All right.
Some craft dinner or something,
Maybe
right?
some MoJo wild rice.
Right, MoJo Wild Rice from MoJoWildRice.com. Right. They do the same thing. So they go in the little
So you
cabinet
say
at this
they have a
embassy.
stockpile.
It's like your house.
It can't be. How long has this been going on down there now?
You know, they fly. They let them come and go.
Right, but you're telling me that then why is there a crisis if there's no food? Why are we just flying food in there?
There's not food for Venezuelans. They don't get to go in the embassy kitchen.
Why haven't they stormed the embassy yet?
Don't give them ideas.
Right. Well, they have 72 hours to leave, by the way. Yes.
Ron, I just got a text that says we're down again on the iHeart stream.
Yeah.
I'm messing with you.
Damn. Damn, dude.
Oh, no, but seriously, YouTube is
Let's
down.
just beat on his ass while he's down. Jeez.
There was a second of crap. I waited. I was like, I got to give it the appropriate amount of time where he thinks it's fixed.
Not good. Moving right along. Activist Nathan Phillips will. No, he won't. Yes, he will. No, he won't. Now he might.
Meet with him?
Meet with the student, Sandman. What's his first name? Nick Sandman. The latest I saw was that he wouldn't.
Meet with
last
him.
night. Would not meet with. He first agreed to, then he said no.
Can I help you out?
Please.
He doesn't want to meet with him because he's going to look bad.
Yes,
It'll come across poor.
Right.
And because, see, you've also got this now. There's a little bit of the old guy beating up on the young guy and the kid and the whole dynamics, and people know the truth on some of this stuff.
Right.
So he doesn't want to meet with him. However, the kid said, Nick said during the Savannah Guthrie interview, hey, I'd love to meet with him whenever we talk about this stuff. So he took the high road.
Right.
So by Nathan saying, I don't want to do it, he looks bad. Then he realized he looks bad, so I got to meet with him. But I can't meet with him because then I'll look bad.
Right.
No matter what he does. If he doesn't meet with him, he'll look bad. If he meets with him, he's going to look bad. So there's a narrow opportunity for Nathan to get it right. And there's no upside. There's only the possibility of failure.
Right.
If all goes well for Nathan during this process, the best that'll happen is, okay.
So he is, in fact, the best a man can get.
But there's a lot of opportunities for him to fail it. He can't. He can't win. He can break even or fail.
Right.
That's all he has going on.
So he's having a lousy night at the blackjack table is what you're saying.
Yes.
He's just going to wait it out. So as updates come in, we will pass them along. Across the pond in England, shoppers and staff were chased out of a Tesco shopping store by a man swinging an axe.
Was it a Tesco axe?
It was not stated whether or not it was a Tesco axe, but he did terrorize. They're still looking for the man wielding the axe who ran through the Tesco chasing customers
Can I
out of
ask
the
you
supermarket.
something?
Yes, please.
Was it a semi-automatic axe?
We don't know if it was loaded or not.
What caliber? Did it have
Again.
a collapsible stock?
Oh, you see, that's
Did it?
They,
How many rounds?
They
Was
are
it a high-capacity axe?
and they are not allowing that information apparently out of England right now.
Was it a Bushmaster axe?
No word on that either. No word on that.
Was it an AR?
Well, it was South London, so you know it was a Bushmaster.
Let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Was it an axe of war? Was it a weapon of war?
You're digging deep now. Shall I? 10 people were running around the store in what is believed to be one of the back areas of the shop. It shows them running with trolleys. And why do they
Trolleys?
say it's a shopping cart? It's not a trolley. No wonder we kicked their ass in the war. It shows them running with trolleys, shopping through the passageway just seconds before the man burst through the double doors, swinging the axe. However, he was smart enough to cover the lower part of his face with a mask, and he runs off the screen and out of the supermarket swinging said axe. They are still in the area searching for a man with an axe. If you are in the England area and you see a man with an axe, please call your local constable.
I think something like this, this is probably not a random crazy guy. There's probably a reason he's doing this, some sort of backstory. Maybe he has a problem with an employee.
He wasn't breastfed.
Maybe it's an employee that he has a past relationship, maybe a poor customer service, but I think it's likely that this guy had some sort of
Issue.
axe to grind.
Jeez. Stop. Just stop. You're going to... Ooh, the iHeart stream's down again. A Buddhist poker player is giving away
Look,
his...
I can tell you whose fault this was. We'll have that discussion after the news.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Well, it ain't mine.
Oh, no, it's a good one.
Oh, good.
It's a good one.
Is it
a
a
good-
company or a person we know?
A person you know.
Oh.
Stayed connected from his show yesterday.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Is it a man who's...
Small,
Well, let's
small
just
winky.
move on.
Yes.
Small winky man.
Wow.
We know who it is.
Wow.
We know who it is. A Buddhist poker player or a Buddhist poker player gave away his $600,000 winnings to charity.
How much did he have?
$600,000. I just said that.
No.
Scott Wellenbach's third place finish
Yeah.
in the Bahamian tournament scooped him $671,240, more than 9 times his previous total. He's a Canadian. He said the only way he could rationalize playing a game that could leave others in strife was to donate to those in need, so he will be giving it away to those in need.
Good for him.
By the way, may I throw our hat into the ring as those in need?
Yes. Could you define need?
Yes, we are charity if you really want to look at it that way.
Let me wait a minute.
Yes.
You take charity?
Yes.
You have no pride?
I would. I'd take pride too. I'd take pride, charity. I take love. I
I'm going to
take
get in on that too.
any of them. Let's see here. Oh, CBS has rejected a Super Bowl commercial for medical marijuana.
Why?
That's an interesting question. They've rejected an attempt by a multi-state, and it gets more interesting, a multi-state cannabis company to run an ad during the Super Bowl calling for the legalization of medical marijuana. The company or the agency behind it, Acreage Holdings, which is backed by John Boehner, says the network turned down its request after seeing a rough outline for the proposed spot.
Okay. Is John Boehner just doing the ads for him, or
No,
is he backing
he's
him?
a financial backer of this.
Mother puss bucket.
He is.
John, if I'm not mistaken, John Boehner was anti-legalization of marijuana
Whoa,
for years.
whoa! Are you suggesting that a politician would flip-flop on an issue such as this? Doc Thompson, are
oh
you
my
going
gosh,
on
this
record as saying a
infuriates me.
politician would flip-flop?
Yes, I am. Oh,
Yes,
I hate John
yes.
Boehner so
You
much.
know what though? No one wears makeup like John Boehner.
Okay, let me back up though. But
Uh-huh.
to the issue of the commercial. We have touched on this concept when it comes to our platform and other things we've explained, especially in the last couple of days. They're not getting it. Many people are not getting what's going on. We've told you about generations and demographics, right? How Generation Z is coming up fast. The millennials are the
Yeah, they are.
largest voting bloc.
Yep.
Folks, the world is changing. It's going to
Yes, it
change
is.
dramatically with the millennials.
Yes, it is.
No. It has changed. It's not going to change. It's not changing. It has changed. It has arrived.
Yep.
The things that a lot of these hosts out there every day that are spewing and the we've got to get serious. The hosts that say we've got to do this.
Yep.
And this has to happen and all this
Yes.
crap or whatever and the talking points. You've heard the same crap from them for the last 20 years.
Yep.
It's over.
Yeah.
If you have not changed, it's over.
Done.
John Boehner, the old school, the NFL, the owners of the NFL trying to keep out, pot or gambling?
Right.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's a different
You
world.
are the old guy arguing for something, and it's not even, don't even give me its moral ground. And even if it is moral ground and you're trying to keep good things,
Right.
the way you're going about it by clinging to your old school ideas and approach to this stuff is not actually going to get the blanket ideas or the things you support in place. It's not going to happen.
No. It's done.
You must realize
Wake
the
up
way
and
you're
smell it.
approaching it is wrong. And it's not a good idea for you to change. It is an imperative. If you run a company, if you're in what you do for ideas and values and get those things,
Right.
it is a moral imperative that you change your approach. It's not working. Hi, Mr. Millennial. Let me tell you about the alternative minimum tax and Jesus. You will never get your message to them.
But that sounds so fascinating.
It's not happening. So if you're rejecting the pot legalization, listen, Brad and I are going to tell you about visiting the dispensary here in Vegas.
They're brilliant.
We did it for educational
it is
purposes.
Research
for the show.
Research.
We will tell you about that at
Yes.
some point. And I
And-
got to tell you, the world has changed.
Yes, it has.
If you have not, you are going to lose for whatever reason you're in it.
And by the way, the worst part of this whole story, the Super Bowl, is the Patriots versus the Rams. That is the worst part of the entire story.
Listen, I
They should
cannot
ban the
handle
Patriots
going
from
off
being-
on Bill Belichick today because I hate that SOB so much.
They should ban the Patriots from ever being in another Super Bowl.
Let's just move on.
Let's talk about supplements from the Rich Solution. I
Let's
would have an
talk about
interesting
it.
fact to tell you about that, but other than the fact that if you don't take them, you'll die.
I am missing the adaptogens. I forgot to pack it.
I know. And you forgot to pack the adaptogens as
I
well.
know.
Yeah, that's the thing. The adaptogens really kind of keep you. And I think that if you're listening, if you noticed in the first half hour of the program, Doc was off, obviously off of the adaptogens. It was, you were not balanced. You were not
What
calm.
are you saying?
I'm saying that it's obvious
Saying
when
it's
you're.
affecting my on-air
Yes,
performance?
I think that
What are
when
you saying? You're better than me?
when you, I don't even have to say that really. The thing I like about it though, and I may encourage you not to take the adaptogens, is because I just have to sit back and watch.
Wow. All right.
I like to watch.
I would take them. I would try them today at the
Yeah.
Rich Solution. Go to therichsolution.com. It's a whole system, and you're going to find something you like and that can help you at the Rich Solution, whether it's the story of Gwen and Adam Rich in book form. It's a really solid book. I even did the forward to it. If you
Despite that, it's a solid book.
It's a solid book. You got the adaptogens, some of the other supplements, and it's a combination. This is the gold standard of supplements. You're going to want to try it today at therichsolution.com.
In Australia, they are concerned about the environment. That's why they're paying up to $150 for reusable coffee mugs. $150 for reusable coffee. What?
That's just a coffee mug.
Yes, it's for the environment. You don't want.
No,
Look,
no, what is reuse? All coffee
Reusable.
mugs are reusable.
Yes, but you see, according to the analyst there, what this is a combination of these Australians knowing that they deserve something pretty and something nice for working hard and for doing something for the environment. Therefore, they're buying $150 coffee mugs.
So they're taking coffee mugs
Yes.
and marketing them as reusable?
Yes, in other words, we're in the wrong business.
Oh my gosh. This is genius.
This is coffee. This is
All we need to do is take some. I've got an entire line. The Spoonie.com line of environmentally friendly, gourmet, Tuscan, reusable coffee mugs.
See?
Reusable dinner plates.
Absolutely.
Reusable cookware.
Yes.
I've got a line of reusable silverware.
See?
Cutlery.
Genius. Wrong country. Genius. We need to market it in Australia.
Reusable pants.
Now you've taken it too far.
I think we got a whole thing there.
Now
this is
you've
amazing.
taken it too far. Reusable underwear.
I got a reusable televisions, automobiles.
That's so amazingly brilliant.
This is good.
Australia.
We're on to something.
Australia, here we come.
Now you got done
Here we
screwing
come.
around with the internet, Ron. Can you get on the reusable stuff for us?
Yeah, really. Would you please? Let's see. Oh, the government shutdown is now in day 1,472. There's trouble brewing at the IRS. They are facing a tax season amid the shutdown with new rules that could...
Do I not have to pay?
Wait a minute. They're facing new rules that could complicate filing for millions of Americans. Not that millions of Americans don't enjoy filling out their tax forms, but there's also a potential shortage of workers to handle the returns, raising the possibility of refund delays and angry taxpayers. By the way, the best part of this story, an IRS union says some are taking advantage of rules allowing them to stay home if they face financial hardships. There is an IRS union.
No, there is not.
Oh, yes.
No, there is not.
Okay.
No.
All right.
There are several IRS unions.
Well, good. I'm glad that
There are many.
Good. Good. I see nothing wrong with that
Okay.
whatsoever.
Neither did, what's her name?
That's
You
a
know,
good question.
That one. The one that got away with the stuff and nothing happened to her.
Right,
Targeting
her.
the taxpayers.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
That's the one.
what's her face?
That's her.
The woman.
That's her.
Yeah.
I already said that.
Yeah, her. The 10-year challenge. Have you taken it?
Which one?
It's the latest internet frenzy. It has people comparing them photos of themselves from 10 years ago alongside a more recent or current picture.
Let's just move on.
Everybody from the kid next door to the Hollywood A-listers taking part. Doc Thompson, have you yet done that?
The pictures of me 20 are definitely going to look better than me now.
Right. Yeah, that's far longer than 10 years ago.
Doc doesn't look any different.
It's
I'm admitting I've changed a lot in the last 10 years. 20 to 30 is a big change for people.
It's the hashtag How Hard Did Age Hit You and Glow Up Challenge. Hashtag Glow Up Challenge. Hashtag How Hard Did Age Hit You.
Age beat my ass.
Yes, it did.
I'm just saying.
Thoroughly. Completely.
Thank you.
It left you bloody on the ground.
Thank
It left
you.
you with scar tissue in places you didn't know you could have scar tissue.
You know, I think I could handle age if it hadn't teamed up with gravity.
Right? Gravity.
Oh, yeah, there is that.
Gravity is not your friend. Not even a little bit. Oh, by the way, need to tell you about coffee. No, I don't.
No, you don't.
Need to tell you. No, I don't, but coffee is good. Millennials have more money saved than their parents did at a similar age. Some good news for a change. Typical household led by someone aged less than 35 right now with a retirement account had $12,300 last year in 1989. Those same kids of households had only $7,500 after accounting for inflation. So millennials and folks younger than us doing it right apparently. Maybe they're calling Era Capital Management.
Trying to think about that. If I believe that, first of all, okay.
It's a statistic.
Wait, what was the amount?
In '89, it was $7,500. Last year is $12,300
of average savings.
Savings, yes, for those.
Is that of people who do save or of everybody?
How could it be of people that don't save?
No, I'm saying
you don't save. You're not going to have anything.
No,
of course, it's of people who
if
save.
they said of people, how much do you have in savings? And some people say nothing.
They don't count those people.
That's what I'm asking.
That'd be stupid
because
to count the people who don't save.
What percentage of people actually have savings? Because I'm telling you, an average of $7,500 per.
Wow.
Was that 89? No.
You're asking me to do math.
Okay, never
Stop
mind.
it.
Okay, I guess that they would. If they went through the financial crisis in 2008 and they learned some things, let's say they did.
Yes.
I guess that's solid. Okay.
Good. That's because they called Era Capital Management.
I don't know if they did, but they certainly should. Wow, they must have better jobs than I have.
That's an awfully low bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Era Capital Management, they do a really solid job. Call them up today. Find out what they can do for you. They're not going to charge you up front. There's not you call us up, that's going to be $23.95 or anything like that. First of all, they'll explain their program. Jake and the guy, the crew, because he has a crew, you know.
Yeah, he's got a
crew.
posse.
It's a posse, I guess the way to say it.
Yes.
They'll explain what they can do for you. They'll lay the entire thing out. And then you decide. I think once you hear how he approaches investing, you're going to say, yeah, this
Generally,
makes
he
sense.
takes it head on. He approaches it head on.
I like because it's both a macro and a micro approach.
Yes, from a larger perspective
Right.
and from a distance as well.
Yeah, just log on, eracapitalmanagement.com. Find out all of the details. Trust me, Make the call today. Don't be afraid. It's one of those things you've been meaning to do. Just get it done.
Do I have time to say
capitalmanagement.com.
Era Capital Management LLC, registered investment advisor. Era Capital Management LLC provides fee-only portfolio management. Advisor may not transact business in states where it's not appropriately registered, excluded, or exempt from registration. Nope, didn't have enough time, did I?
MoJo 50. The Daily MoJo.
Am I ready? Just hit me for it. This guy's hitting me over here.
EraCapitalManagement.com. All right, I did it. I got them all in there.
Doc Thompson, Brad Staggs, and some other guy live from SHOT Show in Vegas at Sands Expo Center. John joining us now from DVC. How are you, sir?
Very well. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. What is DVC? Is it DVC Gear Up or Gear Up for? I've seen your flyer here.
Gear Up is for SHOT Show. We're
Okay.
DVC, Dry Vapor Cleaner.
Wait, was that Drive?
Dry Vapor Cleaner. I know it sounds...
Dry Vapor Cleaner.
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds kind of like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
What it is, you see it? Looks like a steam cleaner. This is where I
Okay.
get
Oh,
technical
yeah.
and geeky on you because steam is 38% humidity.
Okay.
We are 4% humidity.
And this is for weapons?
We
For
have a
firearms?
weapons cleaning system. We can clean a gun in less than 90 seconds. At the end of that, it'll be clean, dry, and hot, which will exactly be ready to ready for the lube.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
hang on, Where's my bell? Hold on. I'm looking at the system now.
It's okay. So it's like a steam cleaner, but there's
It's not like it's
there's
not
no
steam.
moisture. So what
There
is
is no
the-
moisture. It winds up dry.
What is that? The
It is
What's the vapor?
high pressure, high temperature. It's dry vapor. We have a aerospace aluminum core which heats up to 500 degrees. It takes in the water. We use distilled water. It's pure. Spits out 300 degrees, 190 psi.
I don't think it's possible
This
to
is
do this.
witchcraft.
That's what I was
This
going to
is
say.
obviously
He's
witchcraft.
in line with Lucifer.
I think he is.
There's elves and magic in there too.
Wow.
This is really interesting. Okay, so this has got to be unique.
Yes, yes,
Right, this
very
is
much
not-
so.
And it's got to be one of a kind.
I don't know that far, but yeah.
Yeah.
Is
This
this
is really
your
a cool
company?
idea.
Yes.
First of all, okay. Where did you come up with the tech?
My partner's actually been developing this for a few years now, and he's been out in the market. So we upgraded some things that he was thinking.
Okay.
Made
Just
it bigger,
slow
better,
development. I
faster.
think I can do it this way, and then
Yep.
continue to grow it and refine it or
Yep.
whatever.
Now we've got the product it's been tested in Desert Storm, Desert Shield. It's been out there. We're in some police forces. We are anywhere there's guns that you need clean fast.
This is okay. So I'm seeing a price here, a special at SHOT Show.
Yes.
And you're just under $1,000. So $997 is what you're showing SHOT
Yes.
Show. And do you have a website? First of all, let's get that out there so people know.
Yes, we are. It's dryvaporcleaner.com.
Dryvaporcleaner.com. Dryvaporcleaner.com. This is something. If you own the gun store or around guns or a range, you need this today. You got to get this today. In fact, probably a couple of them because, I mean, you got a lot of people coming through. If you are a person who has a gun, still going to be solid for you if you fire a lot. If you have Brad has a small arsenal.
I have more than 2 and less than 10,000 guns.
And what did you say, 90 seconds?
Less than 90 seconds, and that's without dismantling. We can just open it up.
This is
really
people
Yes.
cleaning the guns. Oh my gosh, how big of a pain in the butt is that?
So it's dry vapor. So it gets out. So you're using like a little brush at the end of the wand, right?
Yes.
And so the brush is actually touching the weapon.
The brush will go through the bore.
Okay. All right.
On the outside, you don't need the brush.
Right.
It's just high pressure. It's 300 degrees,
Okay.
190 psi.
All right.
It'll blow the dirt out of anywhere.
This is how worth
Wow.
it is this? I mean, you go. That's a lot of people. I'll go.
That's
I'm gonna have to
really
clean
cool.
the guns when I'm done, or whatever. You don't clean them, and the next, right? I mean,
That's the biggest thing. Most people are not going to clean their guns. This will, as I mentioned, you get home, you're tired, 90 seconds, leaves your gun clean, dry, hot, and ready for lube.
The guilt factor of not cleaning your guns, right? I mean, you're like, I really
Well,
should clean
eventually
these.
you just it's cognitive dissonance, and you just say,
You know what?
I'll
They're
get
fine.
to it.
I'll get to it another
I'll get to
time.
it
I'll
later.
get to it. And then if you finally do,
Right.
2 years down,
Right.
probably, you hammer and chisel to get that stuff off.
Why can't I hit
This
the
is
target?
awesome. This is amazing.
We've got a lot of range owners that get them, a lot of
Yeah.
guys who rent the guns, or people that come in and, what's wrong with my gun? When's the last time you cleaned it?
Clean it?
You're supposed to what?
What? Huh? What? Clean gun?
My father-in-law, who I got a lot of my guns from, he would, whether he'd fired them or not, every week he's old school. He would sit down, he'd clean the guns, oil them up, and he'd wrap them in like part of a T-shirt that had some WD-40 on it,
right.
and they're pristine. I've got 50-year-old guns that look like they came off the assembly line yesterday, but no one does that anymore.
Right.
Nobody does it. You don't
Under 90 seconds.
Yeah.
What?
That's
This is a great investment. Seriously, if I had a range, I'd have multiple ones. I'd be selling them to other people too.
Well,
this is
almost worth getting out of the broadcast.
I know,
business
right?
for.
See, exactly. All right, so it's dry vapor cleaner.com. Dryvaporcleaner.com. How long have you guys been around?
We've been in business for about a year.
Wow, this is
So, like I said, my partners had the technology for about 15 years. So the technology is proven.
okay.
Like I said, we've upgraded. We've gone to aerospace material. We've improved the contents, and we're out there now.
So we're sponsored here, and one of our regular sponsors is traguns.com.
Oh,
right.
Yes, I see.
So
where
they
you're going.
do 360 imaging on their website. They've revolutionized buying guns online, and they have the high-resolution photos and stuff. The problem is they're so high resolution that even if a speck of dust when they're filming falls on it, perfectly clean guns, you can see it.
Right.
And so if you're buying, you're like, that gun's dirty. It could be great. And so he's got to clean the guns regularly. This is perfect for him.
We can do it with this.
This is awesome.
That is a great
how's this
idea.
been received from people? It's got to people when they get it, they've got to.
Yeah, and immediately you see it, and you've seen it on our website. You can see what it can do in a gun. We were actually on the website. We have a gun that we were down at Baja 500. We had some federales come by and say, "Well, we've got a clean gun. We don't need it." We said, "No, just let
me
us
see it."
give us a shot."
Right.
So 90 seconds later, like I said, clean, dry, hot, and ready for lube.
You're like the they used to do that at some of the home shows where they let me see your ring. And they clean your ring right there for
And
you.
you're like, holy
damn, I
moly.
had no idea
Yeah,
that
how
thing was
dirty it
dirty.
was.
We can do that because nobody's brought any dirty guns to the show. I don't know what the deal is.
Let me show you what I'm packing.
So we saw the system work, and I see on your flyer here the system here. How big is this? Because it's basically a cube.
It's about as big as a toaster.
What's a toaster?
The toaster, $20, same as downtown. Hey-o. And then you have different models here. Is that what this is, or this is what comes with the system?
This is what comes with the system. It's foot operated, which allows both your hands to be free for manipulation of the gun.
Yeah.
It comes with a wand, which will actually spray, and it comes with bores for rifle, shotgun, and pistol. You can get. We've got twist on, brush.
Yeah.
And so for any caliber you got.
Can you? It says weapons, and we've been focusing on guns, but knives. I'm assuming swords, stilettos.
It does
Swords?
double-ended swords.
Double-ended
is
swords.
all it does. Yeah.
How about lightsabers? The handle. I'm
well-
guessing of the lightsaber.
You can, and actually we clean electronic circuit boards with this.
Oh.
We like to have the electrical power off while we're cleaning
Okay.
it, but after that you wait a few minutes and it's good to go.
So there are other applications. So
It is. You
okay.
take this home. Your wife's going to have you doing her jewelry. She's going to have you doing the bathtub.
Sorry, honey.
She's going to have you
It's
doing.
a weapons
Can
cleaner.
you do
honey.
toenails with it?
That's probably going to be bad for you.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't let him answer.
What, female or male?
I mean, no judgment. I don't care what you're into. Any toenails. I mean,
We will prep the girls' toenails for polish. See us in booth.
Okay. All right.
N361.
All right. See, I'm down with that.
This, and I think
dope.
it's important to mention though other applications too.
Yes.
So if you're on the fence, you're like, well, yeah, I definitely like this. Going to make it easier for the guns or whatever. But you can use other things.
If you have a knife
sure.
collection, or if you are on a knife store, this is a great idea too.
And even in the car, between the seat and the armrest, you spill a coffee. The only way you're really going to get that clean is if you take that seat out. With this, you blow it right down there. It's 300 degrees. It's 190 psi.
It's dry.
It's dry vapor. Yes. You come up to the booth. I'll show you guys.
Well, I mean,
we
the concept of that is just throws people off because even though vapor exists and vapors exist, you still think of it as having a steam element to it.
Right. Well, there's a water element. But
right.
Here again, it's 4%. I mean, there's
us
less
water's
vapor.
Dry.
See?
He's telling us water is dry.
Dry cleaning.
Bam.
Right.
There you go. Around
Done.
for centuries.
Damn it.
See? We gotcha. There it is. Crap. Check and mate, Brad Staggs. Check and mate. All right. Dryvaporcleaner.com.
Yes.
Dryvaporcleaner.com. Check it out today. The flyer here, I'm assuming they can buy direct?
Yes. Well, yeah, where do they buy it?
Yeah.
Just on the website.
Just on the website?
They buy it from us.
Okay, gotcha. And then if you're a police force or something like that, same thing. Just contact. You'll deal with them.
Contact us. We'll work a deal, and we'll tell you all the police forces we've been in if you need to talk to somebody.
Okay, very good. And if it's public dollars and you have extra money, you'll take that. If they're willing to pay you more than the price, you'll
yes.
Right,
for
do that.
Municipalities, the price is
donations.
$15,000.
That's right. They'll give it to you today, though. Special deal. We could probably knock 10% off.
Yeah. Maybe.
All right, dryvaporcleaner.com. John, that's awesome, sir.
Thank
really
you guys.
good.
That
solid.
really is cool. And we will be up there.
Yeah, we'll come up and do a little video
Keep
so
that.
people
Do
can
not
see it
give
as well.
that back
I'm
to
not
him.
giving it back to
Don't
him.
give
Laying
it
it there
back
so
to
people can buy and see.
Jeez, you're always giving back free stuff.
Back. Damn.
What is wrong with
All right,
you?
let's get some comments in. Thanks, buddy. Get some communiques coming in. If deemed worthy by Brad Staggs, he will share them now.
Let's see here. I was going to say very cool weapons cleaner, but that was me tweeting that. You should always set the bar as high as possible. You don't want some little crumb cruncher grabbing your beer.
Yep.
That's a very good point. Hadn't really thought about that. A free-range prisoner agreed that John Boehner is a piece of crap, but if he is a lobbyist for medical marijuana, it's safe to say it'll be legal within 2 years. If you have any cash to spare, get your investments in now.
I saw John doing the commercials. I don't know if you've seen him. There's even flyers of him speechifying where he's going to go out to different events doing the medical marijuana. And I paused because I'm going, I don't know if he was actively publicly against it, but he was not for it. He certainly wasn't out there in favor.
Right.
I'd have to go back and check every vote. And then all of a sudden this becomes his issue. So I thought, okay, they must have paid him to be the spokesperson, and he has some connections. And John is tight with some lobbyists. There's one lobbying group on K Street, and I can't remember the group's name. A buddy of mine that knows him pretty well, that John was locked in with.
Right.
So I thought, okay, they're paying him, or maybe he's a spokesperson for this. It happens. I got it. But then to find out he's got a financial stake in this stuff, infuriating. Where you kept this stuff down. You kept this from happening.
He was the man. Hold him down.
I told you 20 years this was going to happen. There's no reason that marijuana should be a scheduled one, even if you don't think it should be illegal for recreational use. Medical use, and it's a Schedule I drug higher than cocaine.
Yes.
This is insane.
That's a bit of a
This
problem.
goes back to reefer madness and politicians like John Boehner who were in the pockets of the K Street lobbyists. And now we are one.
With its roots in hell.
It's infuriating to me. This is the perfect spectacle. This is the perfect example of why D.C. or how D.C. is broken.
Peekapool, the mercenary jackhole. Brad admits he likes to watch in no bell. There's your bell. Stop whining.
Bell.
See here. I said that one. Nope. Can't read that one. Smirking effing slug. The axe might not have been loaded, but I'll bet the wielder was.
Oh, that could be. I'm just saying.
You don't want a loaded wielder holding an unloaded or a loaded axe, especially the high caliber axe.
And that was in the U.K.
That was in the U.K. Where
Tesco.
Yeah, so it's, they don't have to worry about guns anymore, but axes, yes, they worry about axes. That would be the axes of evil.
Was it, have we determined, and I'd like to get a quote, was it an assault axe?
See?
Because if it's not an assault axe, I don't know if I'm going to call foul on this guy.
The assault axes have the really curved blades that look really mean.
Okay.
That's the assault
Is that how
axe.
you can tell?
Yeah, that's how you can tell.
I think they're often black as well.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
okay.
With the black handle and the wrapping, yeah, that would be it. And whatchamacallit says, no. Let's have that discussion now. Who screwed up the live stream?
Oh, let's have it.
You want to have
Shall we have the discussion now? Yes, we shall.
Let's have this discussion, I guess.
God, dog. So after an hour of messing with this,
Yes.
I go out and I log into our buddy's laptop to find out if I can hit the feed from his laptop.
I'd hit that feed.
I don't know.
And I'm going to tell you what I saw when I logged in. He was logged in on the feed.
So he
stayed there all night long.
So he had it locked in.
He had it locked in. We couldn't hit it.
So
this is our buddy, our good friend.
Who? Name him.
Dominic Izzo. God bless him.
Son of a.
Here's the thing, Brad.
He was trying to block you guys out this morning. That's what it was.
He was, but and that absolutely there's a failure on Izzo's part. But here's my question.
Oh, snap. Here it comes.
What are you talking about?
No, I feel it. I feel it coming.
I'm just saying. Maybe you check that sort of thing before we broadcast. I'm just
before we go live, we should.
I don't
what
know.
time does he get off the air?
No, we probably should.
That's a good idea.
He's
I
what,
mean,
7 to 9?
Just have you know what? You could have like a little checklist of things you should check.
Check off
Right.
before
you go live.
an hour into it or something like that to look back and see if it worked. Something like that.
Kind of like a pilot.
Could do something like that.
Or
Dominic, I'm going to take this one
or
for
like
you.
the guy who jumped out of the capsule in space.
I'm just going to take. This is all me, baby.
I'm saying it's multiple people.
He had
No,
the guy.
it's not.
Like
he
that,
said, "Check your seatbelt. You know, undo this."
7
do
to
this.
9
Right.
would be 9 till 8 the next morning. That's like 10, 11 hours. You could
I
check
mean, you
to
could
do the
certainly,
thing,
even if
something
you
like
did
that.
one step an hour.
How long does it take to check?
Oh, hour, but
couple
again,
seconds, something like
yes.
that.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's just a thought. I wouldn't.
What's the matter? What are you talking about?
I love you guys. I'm going to check it. I will check it again tomorrow morning before.
Another great.
That was my failure. It was my failure.
Another great comment.
I just want to give Izzo a kick in the pants.
I understand why
Dude's
you did
got a great show.
Because you expect that he's a professional.
I'm not quite sure if I expect that yet.
You give. You took a smack down and made it worse. Ron's like, I could either slap him around and then take the pain that it's my fault,
Right.
or cast blame to him, but I don't get to insult him as much.
Right. Yeah. See,
He's a good guy. It wasn't his fault.
it wasn't his fault. No.
I'll take it.
I'm gonna help you out though.
Here it comes.
What's his name?
Ron.
I'm going to help you out here, Ron. What you're going to want to do is try the Otron Teal at lovemytummy.com.
Yes.
Because that pain, that twisting in your gut right now,
Yes.
the IBS that you're likely experiencing caused by Dominic Izzo,
That's the least of it. Yes.
this is going to help you out.
Dominic
Dominic Izzo,
Izzo.
right? Dominic Izzo causes IBS.
Yeah, I think that's scientifically proven at this point.
Right. I mean, some people, different things cause different things. He's like a virus that causes IBS.
I can back you up on that.
Certainly in Ron's case.
I can back
and
you
other
up.
people that listen, you're like, man, this stuff is good. I'm getting a lot of emotional good from listening to his show, a lot of spiritual good, a lot of educational good, a lot of facts and figures good. But the delivery method does often cause IBS.
Yes,
it is
does.
one of the side effects of listening to the Izzo, rants of Izzo.
Yeah.
But we have a solution for you, and that is Otron Teal.
Yeah.
That you can get at lovemytummy.com. So whether you suffer from IBS because of Dominic Izzo, like our friend Ron, or some other reason, try Otron Teal.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. That's a very good. Oh, go to lovemytummy.com.
How's it work?
Here's what it does. It goes in there and it does some good stuff inside you. I mean, I don't feel that I can give it the full. I don't. It does. Tell me, does it do some good stuff inside you?
It does some good stuff inside you.
It does some good stuff inside you. Why complicate it? Why not make the message simple and to the point? You need some good stuff done inside of you? This is what we'll do it. If you go to lovemytummy.com. Get some good stuff up inside.
I cannot argue with that at all. Why complicate it?
Why complicate it? Keep it simple, stupid.
You're
That's all I'm saying.
right.
Yes. You want some good stuff done up inside of you?
Go to lovemytummy.com.
There you go. That's
You don't need to know how or why it works.
I don't want to know.
Bottom line, this stuff is going to help you.
Yes.
Gut health, okay.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. If you don't go there today, you're going to be miserable.
I have been doing all of this all wrong.
Yes, you have.
It just
I can find several people who might agree with you.
does good stuff.
Yes. Yes, it does.
We're changing the world, folks. We
Right-
really are right
Right
here.
there inside.
The New York State Senate passed
Mm-hmm.
the Reproductive Health Act. Did you see this yesterday?
You know, I started to, I didn't want to ruin my dinner last night. I didn't read it all the way through.
I'm going to do my best to get through this, and I'm going to tell you right now, I am already feeling the adrenaline surge through my veins.
Yes.
Because of the spectacle of what they did. It is infuriating. It's outrageous. It's unbelievable. I know there are crazies out there. I know progressives are truly not interested in the things they claim, love and support and equality and all of this stuff. Remember, it was and still is progressives that try to control and socially engineer. They are the ones who supported Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood, which, if you go through history and you look at by demographic, who has lost the most children to abortion? The black community.
Yep.
Margaret Sanger wanted to use abortion for genocide, for genocidal purposes. She wanted to eradicate black folks.
Yes.
This is part of her platform.
Right.
That's not sensationalized. It's not taken out of context. It's not. Margaret Sanger was a racist, and one of the reasons she supported Planned Parenthood or abortion and created Planned Parenthood was for the purpose of let's get rid of the darkies.
Yep.
That last part is a little sensational, but that's the truth of who she is. We know this. If you don't know this, do your homework and look it up. If you're on the left, I'm not making this up. Now,
it's right there in black and white.
You may say, well, out of something bad came something good. Did it?
What would that be?
Well, count the numbers. If those people had not been eradicated, now, it's not as easy as that because you go, well, some would have died along the way and some would have done this, whatever. But in general, if that majority, blacks, more black children aborted than whites or any other race, and what is it, about 60 million since the legalized abortion of Roe v. Wade?
Over 15.5 million since 1973.
Of black folk.
Yes, of African American. This is African American deaths since 1973.
15 million.
Yes.
And what offspring they would have had.
Right.
Now, you can argue, well, they would have been a drag on society because a lot of times they were poverty-stricken because of the history of racism in America. And you're right about that. But that's not the point. The point is their numbers would be far greater.
Yes.
Far greater.
Absolutely.
So instead of being, depending on what are the statistics, 16 to 18% African Americans? 16 to 18 black people in America?
I believe that's correct.
Doesn't it stand to reason that number would be higher?
Of course
would be
it would.
greater? Because you've also got their offspring. Now, here's the truth about that. Often, poorer people have more children.
Right.
They just do. And first of all, they have better access to contraceptives. And number two, they often don't practice family planning.
Right.
They're already poor. They're not concerned about keeping what they have and such. It's the reason you look at, middle class and upper people right now, they're not having 6 children. But you look at poorer communities, they still have quite a few. So likely, that's millions and millions more people.
Yeah.
You could have easily see that percentage of blacks in America grow by 2, 3, 5%, maybe more.
Right.
Maybe. What would that do to their voting power? What would that do to their significance and their fight for equality as they have over the years?
Yeah.
So if you're the progressive, look at what it's done.
Right.
It's outrageous. It's horrific. But what the New York Senate has done takes this to a whole bizarre. We have skewed off because Biff Stolt Gray's Sports Almanac into the bizarro world. This is the bearded Spock. Not that they would try to expand abortion as they have. It's what it includes, and that is legalized abortion up to the day of delivery.
Is it
up to full development,
term?
full term?
Is that what?
There are some addendums to it, but yes, it does include that. It is the most expansive abortion law in America. It allows late-term abortions until the baby's due date. Again, they must reach certain requirements. Two of the worst parts of the bill, the new parameters are that you can have an abortion if the patient, this is what's in the bill,
Right.
the patient is within 24 weeks from the commencement of pregnancy. So conception.
Okay.
So it first of all takes it to 24 weeks.
Right, which is end of second trimester, right? That's 6 months. 24 weeks is 6 months, so end of second trimester,
Pretty
into
much.
the third trimester.
And it's actually 40 weeks, but most of us think 9 months in.
Right.
It's a little easier. So you're right, about the end of the second trimester.
Okay.
So 24 weeks. We'll get into that in a moment.
Uh-huh.
But the other part is they can have it up till the baby's due date if the patient, if they find it necessary, basically. The abortion is necessary to protect the patient's life or health. The patient being the mother.
I was going to say, please define patient.
Patient
in
being,
this,
yeah, I would say that.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's a loophole we can fight this on because the patient could also be the baby. But the wording is so broad is to protect the patient's life or health. What does that mean?
And that
Protect their life and health from what? From having the child?
Right. I don't know. They've kept
Brad.
that nebulous.
Brad.
Uh-huh.
Life and health can be raising the child.
Yes.
If I raise this child,
Uh-huh.
I'm poor, it's
Uh-huh.
going to affect my health. First
Yeah,
of all,
absolutely.
any parent knows
Oh, yes.
you raise a child, damn it, it's affecting your health.
Yes, it is.
In many ways.
It's making you older immediately.
Exactly. Affecting their life. What is life? You mean the ability to live, to be alive, or I just want to live my life?
Right. Well, it definitely hampers that.
Because if you're saying you can do it up to the due date,
Uh-huh.
I am due today, but I haven't gone in. I haven't had the child yet, so I can have it aborted.
That's insane.
What they're saying is, if you just mean medically, delivering the child is going to affect your life or health. Okay?
As a result of giving birth right now.
Right.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
Normally when they've said, well, if the life of the mother is in jeopardy, they mean carrying the child. That means the 40 weeks you're carrying the child and then the delivery, whatever. So now they've narrowed that. If you do mean medically, the health of delivering, why would your life be in jeopardy? You would have to realize your life is in jeopardy, meaning a doctor knows, and if a doctor knows that it's going to be difficult for you to deliver, there are lots of things they can do to make sure it is going to be, but this says life and health.
Right.
Not just it affect my health a little bit. In other words, a lot of times women that died while giving birth died from things like an accreta. An accreta is when the placenta that is attached to the uterine wall begins to grow through the uterine wall. Okay. Which the baby will go to term. It's healthy. Everything's fine. But when she delivers and then you go to deliver the afterbirth and the placenta, it basically pulls the lining of the uterus out and the mothers will hemorrhage and die. This is one of the things that cause death at childbirth. If a doctor knows that you have an accreta, they can go in and do C-section and take care of it. Trust me, I've been through this with my eldest son.
Is that like an abruption, or is that the opposite of an abruption?
I'm not sure what an abruption is.
I thought that was the detachment of the...
I think that's probably the opposite.
Okay, all right.
But if they know that, you're probably going to be okay. The problem is they don't know it, so you deliver, and they're like, oh, my gosh, accreta, she's hemorrhaging, and by the time they get in to take care of stuff, it's too late.
Right,
so the point is,
Happened
if it's about the delivery, then it's going to be okay anyways. This is so broadly written, they will be able to murder full-term babies. This is how do you defend this?
I don't know. Life after
life
when
or
you
health.
when you read, I'm reading it and it looks bizarre. Allows for women to get abortions after week 24 if the life or health of the mother is in question.
Right. What does that mean, right? But here is the bizarrest part of all, is when they passed it, when the Senate did, with, of course, great great interest from the media and people, in the Senate there. Here's the reaction. Ready? Oh, here. Folks, that is their reaction to a bill that will say it is possible. Again, broadly written. I just don't want it. It's going to affect my life. I don't want the baby. Full term, healthy, deliverable baby. Not even truly affecting the mother's life. She's not going to die. They said, well, that is so wonderful that this is their reaction. Folks, you can be pro-abortion, and you still must find this heinous. If not, we're lost.
Yeah. Yep.
This is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches.
The mothership has landed.
July 2002. I'm sleeping one night. Everything's going fine. Deep, deep sleep. And I was abruptly awakened by my bedroom light flipping on and my screaming ex-wife that her water had broken. And I knew this couldn't possibly be the case because she was still only 28 weeks into her pregnancy.
Wow.
12 full weeks until delivery. I knew this wasn't possible. We had months before we had to deal with this. And so I calmed her down and I said, wait a minute, how do you know it broke? And she said, because it's a bunch of water, whatever.
Right.
And she described it to me and I said, well, that certainly sounds like it. And I said, all right, let's get to the hospital. So we drive to the hospital. Actually, called the doctor first. She said, get to the hospital immediately. We drive to Cleveland Clinic, and they immediately admit her and hook her up to all the stuff. Yes, your water broke. It was it didn't full break, but most of it did, and you got seepage and the whole thing, and you're going to deliver. And when this happens, you almost always deliver within 48 hours.
Right.
This would be at 28 weeks. And as a parent, when this stuff starts happening, your mind just swirls, and you try to figure out what is going on. What does this mean? What is the long-term result? What's going to happen? And the doctors came in and had very frank discussions with us, and they told us that the good news was she was at 28 weeks. 28 weeks is one of the magic numbers in baby development. 28 weeks is one of the magic numbers where if you can at least have development in utero, full regular development, and something happens, and they have to deliver, that you are much less likely to have any long-lasting side effects. But still, it's very dangerous.
Right.
And every day that baby can stay in there, every second in development is going to be better for the baby. So you get another day, another 2, another week, and everything helps. But 28 weeks is the magic number. Now, you can deliver earlier than that, and the babies can survive and plenty have and live long, healthy, happy lives.
Right.
But that's one of those magic numbers. And because of the great folks at Cleveland Clinic, they managed to keep her bedridden and fill her full of fluids and steroids and antibiotics and all kinds of other things. And they managed to keep him from being delivered for about 3 more weeks.
Wow.
Which is huge.
Wow.
But finally got to that point where he was delivered. And every day was an eternity for me. And I think about that anytime I see these stories. The arguments of, well, the baby couldn't live outside the mother at a certain age, so fine, we can abort it and we can kill it. I look at him now. He's 6 foot tall, 16, going to be 17 in a couple of months. Smart, strong.
Yeah. Good
just
kid.
a great kid.
He is a good kid.
And I go, that was 28 weeks. Well, 32 weeks, 31 and a half, actually, weeks. And he's great.
Doc, I had almost the exact same thing happen to me with my 13-year-old. She was at 32 weeks.
Yep.
Misty was in bed for 3 weeks. Prior to that, low amniotic fluid.
Yep.
So it was essentially the same.
Yeah, hers, I mean, she had the big flush, but they turned out it was still only a hole, and it continued to seep. So if they can keep filling it up, you're good.
And high blood pressure issues and concerns there. How long did he stay in the NICU?
For almost what it would have been term, 6, 7
That's
something
about
weeks, 8 weeks.
We did too. Every day traveling to the NICU.
With low amniotic fluid, how do you where's the dipstick? How do you
Exactly.
find that?
It's tricky. It's
It
tricky.
isn't?
Yeah.
I think you
Okay.
have to poke the bag.
It depends on the model, so check the operator's manual.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, good. I just
Yeah,
wanted to
it's
make sure.
it's a miracle, no doubt.
It is absolutely. And how do you not think about this? And I think about the parents. So I had this moment. I would, for every day, I would drive to the hospital while she was there. And I would get up and do the morning show in Cleveland, and then I would drive to the hospital afterwards, trying to get as much work done as I could. And I would sit with her all day, up late with her, leave the hospital late at night, and this was just my cycle.
Right.
Did this for 3 and whatever weeks, and then every day going into the hospital, I'd come in and I'd go, "How much did he eat today?" And that was eating like 1 cc of formula,
Yep.
2 cc's. So young they don't even know how to swallow and eat properly. And I remember it's like. He had 8 cc's of formula today. It's growing, right? It finally, and it was just, every day these incremental steps.
Right.
And I'm sitting there. He's in the NICU. Was born like 3 to 4 days prior to. And I'm just staring off in the distance thinking, I cannot believe how awful my life is and how stressful this is, how horrible this is. And, the world is filled. You see movie after movie about, honey, it's time. Pull the car around. Here's the bag we pack. Call the doctor. And these perfect little deliveries, and they go and deliver. And why me? Why this? Why do I have to go through this or whatever?
Right.
And worried about his health. And at that moment, I look across the NICU. There's like 4 pods in there. And there's a woman sitting next to her baby. We got to know the family a little bit. She had triplets. Couple weeks before my wife and I came in. One of them died right off. Another one died. They actually had to pull the plug on because there were lung issues that they could do nothing for.
Right.
And the doctors came to her and said, "You've got a decision to make." They came to her and her husband and they said, "Listen, here's what's going on with your babies."
Right.
The one of the 2 that's left.
Right.
Here's the status. And they're like, They said, that's the status. Your son is not going to live. You've got some decisions to make. How do you tell them? What the doctors were saying to them is, you've got to give us permission to pull the plug. And she told me the story, and they're listening to this. You got to understand, when you're in these stressful situations, it's like tunnel vision. Everything just kind of closes in on what their decision to make. And you're not able to process it, even though that's the only thing you're hearing. That your ears are warm, and it's like earmuffs, and you can't.
There's almost a ringing in your ears.
That's exactly it. And so finally they got it, and they said, okay. And these were very religious people. They were very nice. And she said, so she told us the story that they
Don't.
The doctors
Don't do it.
take the parents into a room with the baby they were talking about. They said, we'll see you in the morning, 8-10 hours later, that this is your 8 to 10 hours you get with your son. And ultimately, they made the decision, and that was it. They gave him 8-10 hours overnight to spend with their son. They had one son left. I thought about that when I realized how awful my life was and realized I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I hate you right now.
I can't help it. I think about this woman all the time. Those scenes go through my head when I realize this. And I think about all the parents that go through this. And you jackasses have the audacity to treat human life this poorly, to discount it, to say it doesn't matter, it's not real, all the while telling us how much you care and how concerned you are about human life, that you tell us these things and you make these crazy accusations about people on the right or maybe Republicans, and you say, well, they're so concerned with the babies in utero, but they don't care once they come out because they don't believe in a bunch of progressive welfare systems.
Right.
It's not that we don't care. It's that we know there's a better way. And there certainly is a better way. How dare you put such little concern and emphasis on a baby? Have you ever seen a movie, worse, have you ever been in public and you see a funeral procession? Maybe it's a news story in your life, and they pull that casket out. And the casket's a small one?
Yeah.
How do you feel? When you see a funeral procession and you see a casket, there's always, for most of us, a moment of uncomfortableness and maybe a little despair for our fellow man. Ask not for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee.
Yeah.
Because as much as I do not believe in group salvation, as much as I do not believe in community, that we are, individuals, and we must be individuals, but we are a collection of individuals, and there are some things, there are common threads and a common energy, if you like, that runs between all of us. That you should look upon your fellow man and have a connection, whoever they are. That you can't help it.
Right.
So when you see a casket like that, a funeral, you go, and you should have that moment. But how do you feel when you see it's the tiny, small casket of a child? How do you feel? The baby. Babies are helpless. The stories that always get me in the news when I see children that die, we told you the story in one around Christmas of the child who froze to death in New Hampshire. She got out, the toddler, and was at the door trying to get back in. That's the helplessness. The reason that story triggered me so much is because they're helpless. This is who they are. And you would treat a full-term baby that way. The point is this. You may be pro-abortion for any of the arguments and reasons you've thrown out there, and we already know them, and we've argued these for 30 years.
Right.
And I understand that. And I'm taking them into consideration. And I will say this. Death of a mother's life in danger, that's got to be a factor. I'm going to give you that. Progressives out there, I'm not saying I have the answer, but I'm saying I am hearing you. And I agree that that is a concern.
Yeah.
Number two, if you are raped, you're carrying your rapist child, I understand. My faith directs me different, but I understand. And I am not going to condemn you for saying I do not want this child. I do not want my lineage to be the result of rape. I get it. Now, there are amazing people out there who say this is still good, and a lot of people who are the product of rape. I get it. I'm not making a judgment call. I'm saying I understand, and those arguments are valid. Progressives, liberals, I hear what you're saying when you say, Doc, it's 4 weeks. It's a clump of cells.
Right.
I think it's a life. But I get the comparison of 4-week clump of cells to a full-term baby that's going to be delivered this afternoon.
Absolutely.
That is a wide stretch. Like I said, 28 weeks to 40. I know the different development. I know my son versus a full term, right? My other 2 sons went full term, and I get how much easier that is and how much more developed. So I hear your argument. I get it. We're not debating that here. That's not the issue this morning.
Right.
This morning is a full-term baby that is ready to be delivered this afternoon can be killed. Mm-hmm. A full-term baby that, if not for these abortions that are now illegal, would be alive.
Right.
And you are applauding that? If you are pro-abortion and you do not get the heinous nature of this, you are insane. You have been so blinded by your crazy or by the crap that these progressives have put in your head. Well, what about the life of a mother, which are extremely rare circumstances, rape and health of a mother, and allowed them to write this bill that is so broad that it likely, as some of our listeners have pointed out on social media, likely will lead to post-term abortions. If you can say, ma'am, your baby's going to be delivered sometime today. We know it's past its due date, full term, but it has not been born. And you think it's going to affect your life and health so you can have it aborted? What's to say they wouldn't come back and say, I know I delivered the baby 3 days ago, but I realize now it's affecting my life. So let's just go ahead and kill it. You're crazy. Really? I'm crazy? Really? You couldn't hear that? Ma'am, you delivered the baby 4 hours ago. I know it's a 4-hour window. Come on, guys. It's 4 hours. Let her kill the baby. Come on.
Yeah.
Why?
This is insanity.
You mean to tell me your heart would then be so soft? You would at that point, your heart of stone is replaced by that heart of flesh, and you say, well, look at him. Now I get it. He's alive. She's alive. Let me just go ahead and do it, right? Let me, I wouldn't support that then. What happens magically where then you start caring? We're talking about a full-term child. One of the other parts of the bill, which is so crazy, this is the New York Reproductive Health Act. This is not reproductive. You've already reproduced.
But
you already conceived.
Reproductive health sounds better.
Right, than pro-abortion. One of the other parts is it redefines a human being, a person, as a human being who has been born and is alive. Another broad term that will, folks, this is not crazy. This is, if you are a liberal, not a progressive, but if you're a liberal statist out there, and you say to me, Doc, you're just being insane now. Okay. I want you to remember this. Get a tattoo, write it down, record the broadcast, put it in a safe, get a transcript, remember it, commit this. I guarantee you, as I sit here, as I know anything, if this is the standard, at some point within the next 30 years, the argument will be made and they will pass legislation in New York that says post-term abortion is legal.
Yeah.
Of course it wouldn't be at the age of 5. That's crazy. Why would you kill a child of 5?
Not initially.
That's heinous.
Not initially.
Until we get, you can do 2 weeks. I mean, right. Buyer's remorse. Who doesn't have that?
Right.
And then 2 months, and then 2 years, and then 5 years, and then why not just be able to kill if you're the parent anyways if it affects your health?
Yeah.
This is what's going on.
This is the camel's nose under the tent.
Unbelievable. All right.
Everybody take a deep breath.
He's here, by the way.
Kirk's here. All right. You just get a break and you want to read some comments there?
Not really,
I hate
but
to
I
cover
will.
that stuff. It's just...
Yeah, a lot of dust being picked out of people's eyes this morning. Wagner Slang and Saddle Tramp. I'm going to go around record as saying I prefer Angry Doc over Crying Doc. I also prefer Angry Saddle Tramp over Crying Saddle Tramp.
Doesn't happen. That is one of those moments in my life I cannot, that is etched into my skull. The son that lived, his name is Emerson, and we ran into them 5 or 6 years later. It was the new NICU at Cleveland Clinic. They had opened it not long before they had an anniversary.
Right.
And my wife X and I went through and with our son, and we saw Emerson, and he had. By the way, they were born at 22 or 20. I think 22 weeks, 23, right there. And he had some health issues, but
they're concerned about lung development.
lung and eye development. I think he had some thick glass and some other things or whatever, but it was okay. Their sons' names were Emerson,
No.
and Paul.
No.
That's what they named the 3 of them. And I think, And he lived, and it was amazing to see, though. And again, that's 22, 23 weeks. And although he has a lot of health issues, he is still a living human being today.
10/23 of 10/24, Jack Hole in a cocoon of bitterness. Thank you for extending that name out. Retweeted something from Clara Jeffrey. Clara Jeffrey tweeted, layoffs at Gannett, Verizon, Oath, HuffPo, BuzzFeed, another bad day for journalism. Support the news organizations you value, to which Jack Hole responded, I do support the news outlets I value and trust. None of them are on your little list. So there are some, we knew that
no, you got to support those.
Into HuffPo.
Yeah, we knew that. And we talked earlier about they're not getting it. The world,
No, they're not.
The world has already changed.
Yes.
Folks, here's the good news for you on the right. it's not just the world has changed for those of us on the right that are, not getting millennials are running things.
Yes.
In many cases, and Gen Z is beginning to run
Yes.
things. They're already here.
They are the Pence of Gen X.
The aliens arrived 8 years ago, 5 years ago. They've already walked among us for 5, 8 years. They're here. It's done. You can't just start trying to figure them out now.
Right.
It's happening even more so for people on the left because they have counted on these leftist young millennials in many cases. The millennials are figuring it out. They started there. They know all the problems. Are your ideas right? Of course they are. So it only stands to reason it's only a matter of time before they figure this stuff out. And they're beginning to, and Gen Z behind them. It hurts for them, too. Why? Because they're all, whether left or right, old and tired and talking points. The same old, worn-out arguments. And the worst part, they're all just boring.
Yes. Yes, there is that factor to their delivery.
We have had enough of
their
clickbait and talking points and crap. It's just not entertaining.
co-presidencies.
It's horrible. By the way, according to
yes.
layoffs and that, you want to help? You want to stick the final knives in there and kill those off? Support Patriot Mobile. Sign up for a Patriot Mobile account.
That's right.
PatriotMobile.com/doc is where you sign up for one today.
I thought you were going to say support us. By supporting them, you are supporting us,
us.
actually. And
It's a twofer.
It is actually the three-fer. It's a 4 and 5-fer because not only when you support them are you supporting us, but you're also supporting causes that that you support without even having to think about supporting them. See what I did there?
I like it better when you just say PatriotMobile.com/doc a couple of times.
It's the lazy man's way of doing something good. You don't have to get out and protest. You can
Folks,
sit at home.
Brad
in your
doesn't
underpants.
need the website nonsense generator that he looks at. He doesn't need that.
Oh, it's
They're
just a
it
tool in
flows
my
freely.
toolkit.
right. They're the newbies.
Yeah. It's here's the thing. If you really want to support, just go to patriotmobile.com/doc, and
Why should they do that?
Well, here's the issue with the how hard did age hit you? You can find the before picture of Doc at patriotmobile.com/doc.
He's trying to find any way out, folks. Any way.
And compare that picture to the picture today, and you'll see exactly how hard age did in fact hit Doc Thompson.
Some of us had a rough last 6 to 10 years.
It hit him with an axe. It hit him with an assault axe.
That has nothing to do with my
hit him
genetics.
with a very
It has to do with the a-holes I
high-capacity,
work with.
multi-caliber
That's
axe.
what it has to do with. It's who I've surrounded myself with.
It just beat him within an inch of his
Okay,
life.
see these lines right here? These are that effing dog. See this right up here? This is the co-presidency right here.
yes,
That's what that is.
Yep. That's that and the bloating.
I got Matlock. He's across the way. That got him. That guy. Zing. Zing.
Wow. Hey, did you just get back from your date?
We talked about it. We're live at SHOT Show. If you would, please sign up for your Patriot Mobile account. PatriotMobile.com/doc. A lot of Patriot Mobile accounts.
Which ironically, /doc is the reason you got hit with the axe.
Absolutely.
It's slashed.
Live SHOT Show. Lots of cool stuff. Remember, SHOT Show isn't just about guns. It's about shooting and outdoors and hunting.
Yes.
That's the reason it's SHOT. Is like that stuff.
Shooting,
whatever.
hunting, outdoor trade. It's about trading.
We
You
have
can trade.
other things that we're going to share with you, some other clients and people that are on display here.
Right. Some secrets.
Businesses on display.
Yes.
Really cool stuff. And we'll do videos throughout the day. Matt Locke will be on the air, 33 minutes from right now? 33 minutes.
You know,
right now.
this Coast flashlight's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Brad is hitting him with the flashlight across the way.
This Coast flashlight went across. We were walking on one side of the strip. It illuminated Caesar's Palace on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure there's people calling down to the front desk going, somebody's peeking in my room with the flashlight.
There's a helicopter outside my window.
The black helicopters are.
Don't laugh, they're real. Shut up, they're real.
And Coast is one of the cool companies we talk to. But so anyways, Matt Locke will be on. couple hours. Then we'll give you bonus material from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time live from SHOT Show this afternoon. And we're just going to run down a bunch of cool clients. Lots of stuff to get to, including some other interesting things that we experienced yesterday with Stunt Brain.
And some boring crap, too. We'll throw that in.
Don't tell them about that. We'll just slide that in.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, Freedom. MoJo 50. The Daily Mojo.
So the great folks at Coast, the flashlight company, they have other stuff too.
Coast, yeah, they make flashlights and knives.
They tell us about this knife. We talked about it yesterday, and it really is cool and powerful, and it's allowed Brad's creeping to his level of creeping. He has really upped his game.
I don't have to cross the street anymore.
No,
this thing will illuminate
he can be
from
creepy
there.
from farther distances. He's
Yes.
much more efficient.
Yep.
So, anyways, we're folks at Coast, generous, very nice people, left us 2 of these, and they're very nice. What's the price point on these?
It's 120-ish.
Yeah, a little over 100, I think it was.
Which is
But
what you're going.
Is
it 160 online? Okay.
Trust me, it's a value. It's really.
It's mainly for cops.
Right.
But
awesome flashlight.
Yeah.
So they left us 2, and I took one, and Brad hands to me as we're leaving, and I go, "Oh, how many did they give us?" And he goes, 2. And I said, you mind to Ron. Ron's a good guy, likes flashlight, does text work. He goes, Ron, and he goes, I don't know. I said, I'm going to do this. Okay. So I see Ron later, and I walked up to him, and I go, I have the flashlight. I said, Brad handed it to me. You're walking. I said to my room, I'll bring it down to you. I said, and I didn't say what it was. And Ron, for a second, was like, thanks, Doc. And I go, yeah, I said I felt kind of bad because of Coast, people only left us 2. I said, so I went out and got you a little flashlight from the store.
A cheapie.
And for a second, Ron was like, the folks only gave it 2, and you felt bad, so you're going to give me a cheap one, and you're going to keep the good one. Ron goes, you jackass.
You forgot to mention he's a sucker.
He is a sucker for that. Ron, I would like you to have this flashlight on.
That's mine.
Whatever.
That's nice.
Don't touch
Damn
that.
it, I almost had him there.
Yeah, that makes the third.
But
one,
I'm gonna,
third coast
Ron's gonna
carry
get the other one, so we're taking care of it. It is Ron, right?
Did you
It's
just
wrong.
offer it up to him and take it back again?
Yes,
No, it's
exactly.
mine.
That
That
was
one's
Tico
mine.
is his. That's right.
Look at that thing pointing at the ceiling.
Yeah, I'm afraid to point at the eyes.
See that? Look.
And focus, yeah.
Pull
focus.
it up.
Pull it up and down.
Oh, there
Yeah,
it is.
there you
Now
go.
now look up in the crack. See that? crack in the ceiling.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Confused there.
Yes.
Well,
Whoa!
wherever
You
it
just
works.
hit me in the eye with it.
Can you see now?
Damn it!
Don't get too close.
We're
to
live
the
at
sun.
SHOT Show at
That's nice.
Sands Expo Center in Las Vegas. And joining us now is Kurt from TRA Guns. How are you, sir?
Hey, doing well. Thank you.
So you wandering about, good things happening?
Yeah, man, it's been great. This is my first SHOT Show coming in, and just met
mine too.
so many people.
Mine
you know?
too. Have you've been to trade shows though before?
Yeah,
right?
I have.
All right, I'm going to ask you because I'm asking everybody. In general, when you go to a trade show, you run into a lot of jackasses in the hallways.
This is the truth.
Is this not the most polite crowd? I don't know
It
what
is.
it is, and I'm not. And I swear it has something to do with respect. You have a certain respect out on the streets for other gun owners and for concealed carry people, and I think that extends in here because people, if you bump into somebody, oh, excuse me, you happens at another trade show, they go, get the hell out of my way. It's bizarre how polite this group of people is.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's
so
amazing.
are you ready to make the big announcement of what you have coming up? Is that something we can talk about or no?
Which one? Whoa, put me on the spot. Which one is that?
The big announcement?
Big
you know, what you got
announcement.
coming up, some of your happenings and going on.
Yeah.
Where
The
you're-
thing about the thing.
You know,
thing about the
how
thing.
you're going to be
Big.
growing in the future, and by that I mean
Big
your
stuff.
business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of things going on, right?
You're
Like-
going back to tarriverarms.com, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. TRA's Guns, TarRiverArms.com.
You're changing the website to Sneckelbob Gun Teal Day _
CoalMountainGuns.com.
exactly.
Yeah, we're changing.
No,
it
are
up.
you going to talk about your expansion yet? Are you ready to?
Yeah, I can talk about it a little bit.
Yeah,
I think it's so.
at least in general.
Tease
Just in
them.
general, yeah.
Just tickle them a little bit.
Yeah, there's
Just
a
a little
big
bit.
thing happening. You guys just hold
There
on.
you go. See, that's it. You've got it.
There's
That's
a
it. Run with
huge
that,
thing happening.
and just right at the edge, drop it off.
Yeah, no. I think that's good. I mean, in a very short period of time, and working with you guys, I think things have grown quite a bit for me.
Despite working with us, things have grown.
You guys have
great.
been a help, so that's been good. But yeah, I think what we're doing is we are going to expand a little bit here.
Cool.
We've been primarily focusing in on the online piece of
Right.
our business. And
Well, you've revolutionized online gun sales.
Yes.
So.
there you go.
It's
That's
America's
that's a
online
goal.
virtual gun
Virtual
store.
gun store, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Why do you need a real gun store? For broker services.
Right.
But that's part of my expansion plans, right? Is to put a retail front up here in the future.
So eventually, in the great state of North Carolina.
North
North
Carolina.
Carolina.
You got to
One
say it as
word.
one
Has to
word.
be
It's
North
your-
one.
Kakalaki.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
You will eventually have a brick and mortar store as well.
That's correct. Yep. Looking forward to that. That should be happening maybe in the next 6, 7,
Oh,
8
that's
months,
really
right?
cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, right? Like
Mhm.
I've been coming into this business. I'm like, I'm going to focus in on online, and then realized over time online, you miss some opportunity, right?
Well, no, yeah, absolutely. Both of them have their place, and if you can pull both of them off, absolutely, it's going to work for you.
yeah, I'm going to keep them both separate kind of business thoughts,
Yeah.
and keep them going, right? Because
We
that
have
online
some-
piece is the United States of America, and it's awesome.
We have some ideas that we may or may not have stolen from another industry
Awesome.
to enhance the look of your brick and mortar store. Some presentational aspects that are from an industry that you wouldn't think would actually possess those characteristics.
I think I'm scared.
I know. I don't even know. I have
You
no
know
idea what
exactly what I'm
Go.
talking. The presentation of an industry that hasn't up until now really existed in the brick and mortar environment.
Are you talking about going to the dispensary?
Damn it! I was trying to say it without saying that.
I don't. Yeah,
I'm telling you, you go to a
that's-
dispensary and they have the most amazing displays. of
Actually, he's got an interesting point there. So we'll talk when we have more detail
Right.
or more time to go into detail about going to the dispensary. I mean, some friends of ours went to the
Right,
dispensary
yes.
to just check
To
it out
do
for
some
educational
research,
research.
right.
It is really stylized and modern. One of the things we've talked about many times, we mentioned it this morning again, how the world has shifted, demographics has shifted, and the target audiences that people think they're going after are much older and much less significant or influential. They're not buying products, and they're missing certain generation and demographics.
Absolutely.
It's already happened. We've moved beyond. So when you look at the dispensary, like you said, and we'll go into detail, the concept when you go in is very different from shopping other places.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
is.
not just because it's a dispensary. It's very stylized and upscale, and they've done
Modern,
it
yeah.
modern.
high tech.
High tech.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And you got to remember, younger generations. This is the buzz phrase. You got to understand. It's about the experience. Okay. It's not just the value of I have a firearm that I wanted, and it's awesome. I got it at a great price. Thank you, traguns.com. That's wonderful. It's about the entire experience. It's
the user
the
experience.
process. Yeah, I went through it. It was cool, and it was fun searching for it.
Yep.
The value is in the entire thing. Well, I mean, you've already got that online.
That's right.
traguns.com. You go there, and you see the 360 view. You see the high resolution. That's cool. That's the experience.
Yep.
And by the way, with the brick and mortar, most gun stores, when you think about a brick and mortar gun store, you think about an oak paneled study. You go in, they're kind of dark. They got some display cases set up. They've got
Sterile.
long guns, not even sterile, kind of almost back roomish. The long guns are laying up against the wall on racks. It's just all very dark and. With the new everything's brighter. Everything's
you also
really
get
shiny.
And actually, that's part of my thought process when I go into this. Is I want to make it a place where you want to come. So I want to make it a homey feel, but also a gun store feel.
Sure.
But also with a cool feel, right? Where maybe somebody might want to come and get some
Coffee shop.
coffee. Right.
That's nice.
Exactly. It's almost like Capital One.
That's it.
experience.
Yes, where they from what I've seen on their commercials have done that right.
Yep.
They didn't start with the bank and say let's put some coffee pots in there.
Yep.
They said let's start with the coffee shop and have a couple tellers in
And
the
then put the
corner.
banks in there. Yeah.
I think you got that. They're right on with that.
Kurt's smarter than he looks.
I know, right? It's not look that
That's
right.
scary.
When-
Fake it till you make it, right?
You know the old gun stores have, or traditional ones often have. You have an old guy in there that kind of gives you that look when you walk in, like, what do you want?
Exactly.
And then when you go up to him and you go, I'm thinking about, what do you want, a 185 Eddie Moss with the
you feel
three-hand
stupid.
action with the what?
And you
and you
just-
go, I don't know what I
okay.
want.
Yeah.
And then you feel bad. I'm sorry. Then I asked that question. I'm sorry.
Right. Michael Palka, our buddy on Twitter, it's at Stuntbrain because he's a Stuntbrain. He was here, interviewed a woman. We're likely going to interview him either later today or tomorrow morning, who is a gun builder. Okay, she designs guns. She showed us a couple of weapons that she designed that are spectacular. And Brad is more knowledgeable about guns than I am. I have a general knowledge. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope Brad's getting all this because I'm getting so little. I mean, she's passionate and she's telling me numbers and figures, and it's awesome, and I can see it's good. I just don't know what she means by that. Brad and I walk away, and he goes, I only understood about 10% of what she said.
She knows her stuff. But
So when you have to
Simplify.
talk, right, simplify and talk to people. And so if you've got the expert gun guy in there, then you can go ahead and talk to him in some different terms. But the average person, it's like, hey, by the way, the answer sometimes when people want a gun, they just want a gun because it's fun or
It's
cool.
fun. Yeah. Or they don't know sometimes.
Or they don't
but
know.
They know that they want it. Yeah.
But often you feel like, if I tell the guy, I just want to go and shoot because it sounds fun, you feel like you're an idiot.
right.
They're like, oh, do you want self-protection? Because then you want the 380 with the grip with the stock and the collapsible, and you got the one over here. Well, how about this one? Because, they changed that back in 97.
They redesigned the Frasiminoid about 10 years ago, and it has revolutionized the industry.
How do you like that? Do you like the new Frasiminoid?
Bruises my shoulder, quite frankly.
Okay,
Bruises
because
my
I don't
shoulder.
know what that means.
And that's the problem.
So my approach to that when people call me or people that I talk to, they say, I want a gun. My first question to them is, what are you going to use it for? Not why do you want a gun?
Right.
It's just what is your plan? Is it carry, conceal? Is it because you want to go to the range? Is it because of competition? Is it do you hunt? And then you start at that minutia or whatever that question, and then you can dig to, right?
Yeah, you're right, because even if you're talking target, okay, what type of targets, what type of competition, because there are really specific models and makers for different approaches. Like we were talking
Ruger.
yesterday, Freedom Arms.
Oh, yeah. Freedom Arms.
They said with one specific target in competition that they rule. Everybody uses it.
Yeah, what was an I can't remember.
I can't remember. It was freedomarms.com, I believe it was, out of Wyoming.
Yeah.
And he said when it comes to very specific targets at certain distances, and was it a steel target versus paper or something like this, or shadow? Was it shadow? Whatever it was. So, yeah, I mean, you learn those. You go, okay, well, then this is what most people use and think it's the best, right?
Yeah. And it's not a threatening question either, right? It's just, what do you plan with it?
Yeah.
And then you start from there.
And by the way,
I would also make sure to say, and by the way, it's cool if you just want it because you think it'll be fun to go shooting.
Yeah.
That's okay. You just, and you don't know, that's fine.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Right?
But the important thing is once you get it, to practice with it, to use it, to understand it, to learn it inside and out.
Yeah.
And that's fun too. When people, I swear to you, even cleaning guns, when you get into it,
yeah.
it is fun. We talked to a guy earlier today, the guy with
The Magic Fingers, is that the one?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's
no, that's some completely different. What's the name of the company? Is it DVC?
DVC.
A dry vapor cleaning system.
That's
so
cool.
it's like a steam cleaner without the steam.
Mm-hmm.
It's really really cool. You should talk to him because quite frankly, with that 360-degree view, you can see where you may have missed a spot or two cleaning some of your
It definitely
guns.
happens, doesn't it? The fiber, the grease that comes out of that
See?
box. Yeah.
May have sneezed, maybe some droplets on there.
There was
I hope not.
There's a gun range.
A little rust spot, too.
But that's how clear you can see the guns at TRA Guns.
There's a gun range outside of, and it shouldn't be too far from your Wake Forest.
Wake Forest, North
So how far are
Carolina,
you from Charlotte?
2.5 hours.
Okay. What is there? There's a nice, there's a lake outside of Charlotte. I want to say north of
Lake
town.
Norman.
Lake Norman, yes.
Yep.
Norman.
Gun range at Lake Norman. Have you ever been there?
I have not, no.
I can't remember the couple that owns it. Really great people. We've been there a couple of times, but I think it's called the Range at Lake Norman.
Because
they
it's
decided,
a range at Lake Norman.
Right.
Yeah.
They had they decided, and they were not uber gun aficionados, but they decided they wanted to open a range. So before they opened it, and they've probably been open 10 years now, they said, hold on, let's go and visit a bunch of gun ranges, many as we can around the country, and figure out what we want to do. So they had a different approach, and they're a little more upscale. I mean, did it right. This is a fun place. It's not, you're just going to go out in the backyard and,
Some of those ranges can get scary.
Right, they can.
Really can.
And some of them still have their place. You just want to go out. So they approached it different. And some really cool things that they did. They found a gun range somewhere that has grates in the floor so you can police your brass just by sweeping it down into the grates.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Such a simple concept.
Yeah.
You're not slipping on. And they go, and you know what? People love it so much. They go over and grab the broom. Like, we don't even have to
watch
do
it.
Nice.
Right. Makes
And
it,
they do
it's
it.
like vacuuming.
Right, it's easy, and they love it. So that's one of the things, and they said these are the type of concepts that we went and grabbed from everybody else, that if you're opening up a place like that, go and grab it. H&H Shooting Sports, and I believe they stopped in and were looking for us. I got to go and look for them, are in Oklahoma City. We did our 24-hour broadcast from there when Moore, Oklahoma, the tornado went through.
Oh, right,
like 4 or 5 years ago. We did it from there. We did a 24-hour broadcast. I think they have 70 or 80,000 square foot gun store range, whatever.
Wow.
And they have in there a full diner. Like it's kind of like a burgers and fries type place, and it's got kind of a 50s retro feel to it.
A place like that in Raleigh,
Yeah, those are the cool things, right?
Yeah.
So you go there and hang out. And
it's an all-day event.
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
Well, and that's the Harley-Davidson stores will have stuff like that now too, right? The Harley stores, a lot of them.
Yeah, Harley-Davidson's trying to do that. They're
The one over by us has that.
There's one by us?
Yeah, right at the change of 820.
Oh, there.
Is that where it is?
Yeah.
That's by us. I mean Fort Worth-ish area.
Yeah. So speaking of ranges, did you guys get a chance to see the kind of the laser-based ranges, the ones that you can just set up anywhere? Did you guys see that?
That the average person would, or be a little more price point?
Anybody. Well,
No.
I mean, some of them were kind of, they were smaller and bigger ones.
Yeah.
But it was like you were looking at a big video screen, and that could be a video screen that's on your wall with a projector, and you're actually going through shooter scenarios.
Okay,
and
we
you can set
actually-
it up anywhere, no bullets. It's all laser-driven.
Bond Arms.
They have a combo one.
Yeah, they have one that's live fire and laser.
Which is cool.
It's really cool.
In a big container.
I think
I saw the portable containers. Yeah,
Yes.
I did see that. Yeah.
So the
Bond Arms
range
has one of those.
at Lake Norman actually is where I saw a system like that. It was probably more expensive. This is 5-6 years ago, and we're probably making it cheaper for the average person to have. And we used it. Bond Arms has the live fire too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because you're getting to use your weapon. It's a little different still. There's a muscle memory. The simulators, if they have
that's key.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you have the simulators, they're lighter, right?
Yeah.
The gun is.
Well, the ones I was talking about, I think there was a price point of like $450, right? That was kind of the
Oh, that's
smaller
very
ones.
affordable.
Yeah.
They're here where,
You connect it to an iPad, and then you connect it to some sort of projector or to a TV, and then it functions. You can do like regular range targeting or some of
we
these
might try
kind
to
of
shoot a little video on
scenarios.
that.
Yeah, but then they got to the bigger point where they became more realistic, and I believe a lot of law enforcement are using those now because the ones I saw yesterday, I mean, they would change up too. Like a woman would come running around the corner, and one time she's your friend, the other time she's pulling out a knife trying to kill
Isn't
you.
that
that's
just like
cool.
a woman?
I know.
Isn't that just that's like being married?
Exactly.
One day she's your friend, the next day she's coming around the
Stabbing you
corner
in
with a
scrotum
knife.
yeah, that's
So I'm probably going to incorporate some of that into the Hangout, a little smaller version
That's-
of that,
yeah,
just so
genius.
you could just. And it uses guns that you may use, right? There's different models, and it's
Right.
got recoil in the whole 9 yards, but nothing's coming out of it to be dangerous.
There was another guy that we talked to yesterday. His company is making practice weapons that have the same feel and weight of the real gun.
No, they don't fire. It's
They
more.
don't fire. Yeah, it's still essentially the blue plastic model,
Yep.
but it's got the same weight. It's got the same feel, and I think.
They put air. They're using air to make the bolt
think
recoil
so.
and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
so
give
you
some-
get so you're not going from this
CO2.
lunk of plastic
Yep.
to a real weapon with the totally different muscle memory. I thought it was genius.
Right. You know what I thought about that too? Think about the applications. I thought about it after we got off the air yesterday about things like, let's say you are doing drills, scenarios where you're running through the woods, and you're doing it for exercise too.
Right.
Where it's like I'm going out running. I'm going to do the obstacle type course stuff but you don't want to take your gun out there the whole time, and then where you're laying it down, you get it dirty and the whole thing or
Right.
whatever. No, this is perfect for something like that.
Yeah.
Such a simple concept.
Throw it in the mud.
And you can do it more, right? It doesn't take a whole day to go out and do it.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
could just do it while you're sitting watching TV. There was some of the way they were set up, cans in the room. I mean,
Yeah, that's really neat
I
stuff.
mean, it's almost like a video game for some of them.
Yeah.
So
really
how are
cool
things
stuff.
at traguns.com?
Man, they're doing fantastic. We're doing fantastic. So why I got it, right? We're doing some things that we're hoping that's going to help more people get more guns, right? The ability to do that. So we just added the ability to pay by check, right? So
Oh,
when you
nice.
go to check out,
People
yeah,
still
you can-
write checks.
They do actually, yeah. We try.
Actually, there's a surprising number of libertarians that do, because they're very concerned about privacy and stuff.
That's exactly it.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't want to put their credit card on the internet
Yeah.
and give it to anybody.
And I can
or-
understand some of that, sure.
I can understand. I just haven't written a check in probably 10 years.
Yeah. Some of it's driven by fear that there's a record, right? And
Yep.
it's unfair. It's completely unfair that people have to feel like that, but I do understand that,
Oh,
right?
they'll
And-
track you. The government's going to track you
Yeah.
regardless of whether you write it. If they want you, they'll find you.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm hoping will help allow more people. And there's the other piece, too. I sell quite a few of my guns, or the higher end of guns, right, or the middle range, and there's the lower end. But there's a lot of people that can't make that upfront payment in that way. They want that gun, so I've added 90-day terms as well, and it's all built into the
Oh,
checkout. So
nice.
now you can go check. Is it pay by check, 90-day terms, pay by check, however you want to do it. And then the system manages it, and I think it's going to add a lot of ability for more people to get guns that maybe can't, and they need to pay over time.
And
Right.
you throw in little perks when people buy.
Yeah.
You make it easier to get it to the FFL and
Exactly.
lower fees. And that's explain those because.
Yeah, so when you buy online, right, some of your cost is maybe not the price of the gun, it's the shipping and the broker fees, right? So a lot of people charge $25, some people charge $50. It just goes insane, right?
Right.
So with guns, at certain ranges, right, I can't do it at a gun that's $200, $300, $400.
Right.
I have, but I
Right.
can't. So in some,
You
know,
do need to make some money. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I got to stay in business so I can get
Right.
more guns out there. But yeah,
Right.
we'll do the free shipping and free broker fees,
Cool.
right? And we do it a lot of times if they'll mention y'all's show. Like I
Okay.
do it almost every time. If somebody calls me up and says, "Hey, I heard you on MoJo 50,"
And take care of it.
Take care of it. Yep.
So how difficult it is from a regulation standpoint to operate a site or a place where you sell guns? Are the regulations pretty
The government
onerous?
helps you,
Very
right?
much.
The government makes it easy, right?
I
Is
will
it
say,
just is it just record keeping, or are there a lot of things that you have to be very specific about
Yeah.
handling? And
It's both, actually. It's
Okay.
both, right? The ATF, I will say, are very friendly, like you say. They're there to help you. That's kind of the first
I was
thing.
being facetious, actually.
But it's actually true. They do when they came in and, I had to go through the interview process. It's, it's a good 6 months just to get the license. And
okay,
once
so
get
you
the
say,
license-
okay, I want to start this website where I'm going to sell firearms, maybe
Yep.
a store.
Yep.
So you have to get a license.
Yep.
And is it the
ATF?
The ATF. That is for every state, but do you have a statewide one you have to get then, or do something, or is that kind of?
Well, that's where the business permit. So it's a federal license, right? And then,
Okay.
and then
Because
there's this
you're an
whole-
FFL.
For your FFL,
Okay,
yep.
gotcha,
And then,
okay.
And then that's not even. That's kind of like the first. Actually, really probably a step amongst many steps, because then you have to go and you have to get your business license, right? Which through the state, and you got to register the name, and then
Okay.
you got to get the city, right? they're going to get theirs.
Right. Right.
And so that comes. And then the record keeping piece of it, every piece of paper, every form that's filled, it stays with me, and I have to keep it for the life of my business. So
the life of your business.
In paper form or
in paper form? No, in paper form, printed out. Yeah. So right? I know there's going to be a storage facility in my future for sure.
Yeah.
I'm already running out of space with that. It's amazing. And I get it, right? They don't ever keep that. They don't ever ask for that. They just come in if they do an audit or if they do an inquiry, right?
Right, and I think most of our listeners understand. I mean, we're proud libertarians, and we just want to live our lives unencumbered. We also know that bad people get guns, and we don't want bad people to have guns. Right. And we debate this scenario over and over, and we talk about that. And the devil's in the details of how you keep crazy people from getting guns because, hey, that Brad Staggs may have had some trouble in his marriage years ago and went to speak to a counselor. Therefore, that's crazy, so he can't have a gun. Right. You know they can manipulate it. But I also get the government saying, yeah, I mean, we want to understand, what's going on, and if a bad guy has a gun. The problem is I don't want him spying on me that I'm a target, if they ever go, full dictatorship.
Yep.
So the balance is the key, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think we have a right, like as a duty, as a dealer or a retailer, we have a right to protect the business in itself. And every time a bad person gets a gun, it's rarely is it. It's a legal process, right, and when they get it, but it still doesn't matter. They instantly go after the gun industry. So there's that piece, and then I've had over the 2 years that I've been open, there's been a couple people I've had to turn down.
Because they were flagged when you did the background check?
No, just for things they either said.
Oh, okay.
Right? It wasn't like we're going to go shoot something, but, there's a thing called a straw purchase, right, where folks are buying guns for another person. That's like the first question on there. That's an absolute no-no.
Right.
And then.
And do you have? Do you swear that as a seller, as a business, that you will pay attention to such things?
In other words, they make you say that to raise your right hand, and
it's not a raise the right hand thing, but it is in the forms that we sign, and then it is in the interview when they come. They literally come for about 6 hours, and they sit down and they just go over everything.
Because even if there wasn't, there would be if something happened. Yep. There is a certain liability where it's like, hey, we looked and this guy said this and did this or whatever. Yep. You should have known. They'll at least challenge you on that.
They
will know that.
Yep, they will, and it's as long as I do everything right on my end, what that person does after the fact.
Sure.
If I don't do one little dot the I, dot the T, then there's definitely a bigger civil liability to that. But it's an interesting model because a lot of people want to go after the person that sold the gun, not the person that used the gun. Right? It's insanity.
Or the manufacturers. That challenge keeps coming up. Yeah. Listen, that ever happens. They ever prosecute a manufacturer of a firearm for something somebody does with that firearm, commits a heinous act, it's trouble.
Done.
I think they tried that.
They've tried,
right?
but it's it keeps failing. In the U.S., it keeps failing.
Yeah.
And when they finally do, the first one will be the floodgates, and then it will not matter. It's bad enough we have the warning labels on everything because people are too stupid to realize they shouldn't shove that cowbell in their ass. But I mean,
you're not supposed to do that.
Leave it there, whatever. But that's
they're
just a random
surprisingly
example.
hard to get
you know what?
out
That's a
once
bad
they're in
example.
there.
Let's not
Probably
use that one.
it is. Yeah,
I'm not saying you shouldn't. I don't want to mislead
no
people.
Judgment. Whatever you do with your cowbell.
All right, sounds good. Kirk from TRAGuns.com. It's TRAGuns.com.
Thank you so much. No, thank you. I appreciate the opportunities that you guys have been giving me to come on air, and it's been great talking with you.
We appreciate you having you around.
Despite your association with us, we're glad that things are going well.
Absolutely. And then one other thing I just want to say to the audience out there that I'm always constantly trying to make my business easier for people to go online and the user experience like you were talking about. I really want to get to a place where it's probably the easiest online that you can get. So if my customers out there or people that are on the website have ideas or they want to send it to me, sales@traguns.com. I'm definitely willing to take people's input.
Cool.
Because mine is not objective in a lot of ways. I'm creating a baby here that I'm trying to build.
Sure.
Right.
So the outside opinion will help you a lot.
Awesome. Well, thanks.
Cool.
Don't forget TRAGuns.com. TRAGuns.com.
20 minutes, let's go.
All righty. That is it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of your Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned a wince does not a lie make.
No.
Think about that. Carry that one with you.
Thank
We learned
you.
the president is doing Nancy's dishes and dusting her thimble collection. We learned side effects of listening to the rants of Izzo include hot lovin', leopard print jammies, and irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah, they do.
All right.
Yeah.
Bradley J. Staggs, what, if anything, did you learn today?
I learned, first of all, a lesson about buying our broadcast equipment at Sears. I think we're going to have to change our.
We have the best that Radio Shack offers today.
Yes, we do. I learned also Dominic Izzo is the man holding us down, at least off the air.
That's right.
See?
That's right. Keeping us down.
I learned to keep it simple. Our sponsors do good stuff up inside of you. And
Sure.
that's all
Sure.
you need to know. And finally, I learned the more worked up Doc Thompson gets excited, the less work I have to do. So, quite frankly, I like the
Bring
worked
it,
up
bring
Doc.
it, bring it.
Bring it on.
Kurt from TRAguns.com, what, if anything, did you learn today? Put you on the spot here.
What did
Think
I
about that.
learn?
We'll come back to you.
Be careful what I say around you guys. I might get put on the spot.
Bradley J. Staggs, what, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
I'll rock you with an eye. Said, "Oh, Brad Staggs, there are a few things that'll do good inside of you. All of them are dirty." Melissa Jackhole up inside of me makes my stomach much better. Yes, in fact, it does. Those are our sponsors.
Yes.
LoveMyTummy.com. Over on the Twitter, Pink Floyd said, age hit me like Danny Trejo and Yoda had a baby, and it was raised by hyenas, then tossed off a speeding truck directly at my face.
I love that.
That is how hard age hit.
Yep.
Pink Floyd. Wanger Slang and Saddle Tramp learned SHOT Show 2019 is proof in action that an armed society is a polite society. And that is a brilliant point.
I want you to know the shocking thing here is how many firearms do we have in this building right now?
A bazillion.
Right? Thousands and thousands, all different shapes, sizes, models, makes, calibers. And, none of them have leapt off the table by themselves and shot anybody.
It's amazing.
In fact,
There
have been no shootings here.
No,
It's
none
3 days of this
whatsoever.
and not one.
An armed society is definitely a polite society. Jackal Angry Beaver, the left, hunting is wrong. You can buy meat at the store. There's no reason to shoot. Also left, let's it abort a full-term baby, right?
All right, we'll see you at 3 Eastern time today. Stand by. What is his name? Matt Locke is next.
Locke,
Remember,
attorney.
your Daily Mojo is today a
Ron
Phillips
Phillips.
production. Sic Semper Tyrannis. Good night, Steve Cannon. Wherever you are. Anya, now you go home.
Hey, Ron, there's something
like
with the
that.
iHeart stream.